The season is winding down. However, two teams are looking to heat up right before state playoffs here this evening. It is time for high school hockey here on The Kuehl Show. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Kuehl alongside my co-host and color commentator tonight, Austin Strauss. We are live tonight inside Griff's Georgetown in Hudsonville for tonight's Rue Division matchup between the host Grandville Bulldogs and the visiting Rockford Rams. Let's get you caught up on both teams heading tonight's game. The visiting Rams are 6-4-1 on the season with a 4-3-1 record in division play, currently sitting second in the Rue Division standings. They're coming off a tough loss at the hands of Byron Center, who is absolutely dominating this season in the Rue Division with an 8-3 loss on Saturday. Carson Court led the team with a goal and an assist. Dayton Perot and Will Haggerty were also goal scorers for the Rams that Saturday. They'd won 3 straight games beforehand, and they were looking good heading into that game against now the number 1 team and undefeated 9-0 Byron Center Bulldogs. We'll get to more of their key players in just a minute, but look at their opponent tonight, a team that is hosting this evening and senior night for the Grandville High School Bulldogs, who come in tonight 5-3-1, 3-1-1 in division play, sitting third in the Rue Division. They had a tough go yesterday against those same Byron Center Bulldogs, losing 4-3 here at Georgetown yesterday. They tried to come back late. Unfortunately, were not able to. Andrew Utero had 2 goals in the game, the leading scorer for Grandville. We'll get to him a little bit later on. And Gavin Rosema also found the back of the net as the Bulldogs came short just to the other Bulldogs by 1 lone goal. And this is where I'll bring in my broadcast partner tonight, Austin Strauss from Cherry High School, or Cherry Creek High School there in Colorado. Played some high school hockey over there. Now plays D3 hockey here for Davenport University. Austin, high school hockey is a little bit different, and senior night here in particular, it's a little bit special for some of these kids.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely touched upon it. Senior night for Grandville here. I mean, it's just, there's usually a lot of emotions behind it. I mean, for some of these kids, this could definitely be the last time that they're going to be playing competitive hockey. Others, they could definitely, go on and play at higher levels, after they graduate. But overall for Grandville, yeah, I mean, this is definitely, especially like you said, towards the playoffs, you want to make a statement, and there's no better statement than, coming in on senior night and just trying to, make another statement win on kind of one of the most important nights for most of these young men.
We'll get to their seniors in just a little bit, but let's talk about the Rockford Rams here, the second best team in this Rue Division. Like we talked about, 4-3-1 in conference play, but a 6-4-1 record. Austin, this is a very streaky team. We talked about their 3-game win streak heading into that Byron Center loss on Saturday, but their previous 3 wins before that were also in the middle of a 3-game win streak. How do you think that plays on this team? It's like you need to get 1 win in order to get a few more going.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, when you're kind of a streaky team, you want to find consistency, and I mean, obviously there's some consistency with, constant win streaks, but you want to get into a groove and you want to keep consistent. Part of that is just kind of keeping, especially, kind of going back to Grandville with emotional night, you want to stay at an emotional, cool level, and you just want to keep playing your game, and you kind of want to stick with everything as well. Just keep sticking to what you're doing well, and, eventually that streaky kind of will become more consistent, and hopefully for them that consistency will start to come in here late in the season.
The Grandville Bulldogs, they had a tough loss also last Saturday to Brother Rice, a really good team from the east side of the state. Very interesting schedules this year. A lot of in-division games for most of these teams. They play a few around the area as well. Like I said, we'll talk about the seniors here for just a moment here, Austin. Brendan Hunt, Andrew Utoro, Evan Willman, Jeremy Rice, and Bryson Harrington are the 5 seniors the Grandville Bulldogs will be honoring here this evening before puck drop, I would believe. So we'll be able to cover that and have that on here for you on the Kuehl Show before we have puck drop between the Bulldogs and the Rams. We'll take a quick break, folks. When we come back with more of the TKS pregame show, you're watching high school hockey here on the Kuehl Show. And welcome back inside Georgetown Ice Arena for a TKS pregame show. Tyler Kuehl alongside Davenport D3 goaltender Austin Strauss. Austin, a few key players we talked about off the top in the previously games for both teams. Let's go to Rockford first. They had a couple of good guys leading this team right now up towards the top of the division in scoring as well. Carson Court and Owen DeVries.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, Carson Court, so far this season, he's got 13 goals, 9 assists. That's, a total of 22 points. And so far, I mean, probably one of the most consistent players here in high school hockey is he's registered points in every single game this season. And he had a hat trick back against Traverse City West. And against, West Ottawa, he had 6 points, a goal and 5 assists. And then against Reese Pufford, pardon my language there, 3 points, 2 goals, and 1 assist. And he's actually a Fox Motors product.
Yeah, that's the AAA program here in West Michigan has really grown over the last decade and change thanks to the good guys down there. You have Slobo running Catholic Central, but he's helping out at that rink. Travis Richards, used to be former Grand Rapids Griffin Dave Van Druin. Southside Ice Arena, that rink is really turned around. We'll be there on Friday for Byron Center versus East Grand Rapids. But back to this one here. Grandville is a team that, is very competitive. Unfortunately, got knocked out early on in the state tournament last season. This year, they're looking for a little bit of a revenge tour, and that leads with last year's leading scorer, Andrew Arturo, and a little bit of help by a guy named Gavin Rosema, someone we know well. He plays down at Aquinas. His brother, Brandon, plays at Aquinas. Talk about those two guys there, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Arturo, picking up where he left off last season. So far this season, he's tied sixth in the division with 18 points, 11 goals, 7 assists, and last Wednesday he had a hat trick against Reese Puffer, and as you said, he's leading the team right now strong and just keep up with the production. And then with Rosema, kind of similar, just overall pretty consistency. He kind of was held off the score streak against Brother Ice on Saturday, but other than that, he scored in every single game. So I think definitely tonight he'll definitely kind of re-pick up that production and could definitely be a key contributor here tonight.
They're going to really want to have a good run here as we're watching warm-ups along for both teams right now. Rockford will be wearing their road blacks, Grandville in their home whites with the maroon trim. Here at Griff's Georgetown, a couple other scorers to watch out for. Rockford's going to have Braden Fouchea. He's got 13 points on the season. Actually led the team in points with 24, 9 goals, 15 assists. And Will Haggerty as well, we mentioned him. He scored in that game last Saturday against Byron Center. He has 13 points, 7 goals, and 6 assists. And Brendan Bourne for Grandville is another guy to watch out for. He had a hat trick against these same Rockford Rams on February the 19th. This team only played one time before. Holy cow, words are tough, us. These two teams played once before earlier on in the season. Really close game and a real fun one to watch as well, as it was actually a 4-4 tie back on February the 19th. Bryson Harrington got the start in that game. Looked pretty good, but he only gave up 4 goals. So did Nolan Smith. So the goaltending matchup we're going to see here tonight, they saw back on February the 19th. Brendan Rhodes had 2 goals in that game for the Rockford Rams, as did Owen DeVries and Braden Fouché. Andrew Toro and Brendan Bourne, as we said, were the goal scorers in that game for Grandville. We'll take another break, folks. When we come back, more of the pregame show and senior night festivities here at Grandville High School for Griff's Georgetown here on high school hockey here on The Kuehl Show. and welcome back to Griff's Georgetown here as we get set for tonight's matchup between Grandville and Rockford. Let's turn things over to the ice for senior night festivities for Grandville High School.
Please direct your attention to the southeast corner of the ring, where these seniors will be introduced. Our first senior is goaltender number 30, Bryson Harrington. Bryson is the son of Al and Troy Harrington. This is Bryson's first season wearing a Bulldog sweater after playing many years of travel hockey. Bryson states his most memorable moment was notching his first win in net as a Bulldog against Howell this season. Bryson's future plans are to continue his education after high school and potentially pursue a skilled trade. Bryson's legacy that he wants to leave behind is that he will always play like he is in his last game. Bryson would like to thank his parents for giving him the opportunity to play hockey since the age of 5. Congratulations, Bryson Harrington. Our next senior is forward number 16, Jeremy Rise. Jeremy is the son of Pat and Ted Rise. Jeremy states his most memorable Grandville hockey moments are of the grit days in the summer and how bad they were, but does acknowledge they did get us in shape. Jeremy plans to attend Michigan's Tech after high school to become an engineer. Jeremy's legacy is one of hard work and perseverance no matter what happens. It is his hope that this team is remembered for making the most of what we have and being successful despite all the unexpected things that came with this season. Jeremy would like to thank his parents and siblings for caring for me and to thank the coaching staff for pushing all of us to be the best we can be. Congratulations, Jeremy Rise. Next up is senior forward number 9, Evan Willman. Evan is the son of Tommy and Mike Willman. Evan states his most memorable moments are the playoffs, especially 2 years ago at Kentwood, in the adrenaline-rushing environment of a packed barn. After graduation, Evan plans to attend Grand Valley State University to pursue finance to become a financial advisor. Evan's advice to his teammates is to not take the season for granted. By the time the playoffs come, the season will feel like nothing. So spending time with each other and having as much fun as possible is important, especially this year. Evan thanks his parents for allowing him to play the sport he loves and for supporting him in every situation. He also wants to thank all his coaches along the way, and especially thank Grandville for being such a great community. Congratulations, Evan Wilton. Next up is senior forward number 5, Brendan Hunt. Brendan is the son of Erica and Dave Hunt. Brendan says his favorite memory was beating Byron Center 5-0 for our first win last season. Brendan plans to attend Michigan State University in the fall to pursue a business degree. Brendan's advice to his teammates is to enjoy every second of playing hockey for Grandville. Enjoy every minute of it, even the cold, rainy days at Johnson Park, because someday it will all be over and you're going to wish you could wear the maroon and white again. Don't waste any time and give every second on the ice your all. Brendan would like to thank his parents for all the time and financial sacrifices they made during my hockey journey. He would also like to thank his previous coaches, and especially Coach Brazil and the coaching staff, because he feels he would not be here on the ice tonight without them. Congratulations, Brendan Hunt. Our next senior forward and captain, number 7, Andrew Yachuro. Andrew is the son of Renee and Mark Yachuro. Andrew says his most memorable moment was in his sophomore year in the playoffs at East Kentwood in front of a sold-out crowd. Andrew's future plans are to play junior hockey. Andrew's legacy to the leagues is that he works hard every shift. The advice he gives his teammates is to respect the grind and workouts in the summer. It will make you a better player in person. Andrew would like to thank his parents, coaches, and teammates for all of their support. Congratulations, Andrew Yachuro. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for your Bulldog hockey senior class in 2021.
All right, welcome back inside Griff's Georgetown. Tyler Kuehl alongside Austin Strauss. Senior night festivities for Grandville High School in the books. Let's talk about those seniors a little bit here. Brendan Hunt, we mentioned him. He's played 34 games over the past 2 seasons for the Grandville Bulldogs. Also played a little bit for the Little Caesars under-18 AAA team over in Farmington Hills. Andrew Yachuro, we talked about him, the leading scorer for this team. 39 points in 34 career games with the Bulldogs. Also played for the Michigan Development Hockey League Green Team for 10 games this season, where he averaged a point per game. Evan Willman has put up 6 points over his 33 games played. Good to see him out here getting honor. And also Jeremy Rice, a defenseman. He's got 4 assists this season, only 13 career games played, but he gets his recognition here tonight. And the goaltender, the starting goaltender we're going to have here tonight as well, Bryson Harrington. We'll get to his numbers before we get to puck drop here, but he spent time with the Fox Motors program as well, playing travel up through the ranks. This is his first and only season with the Bulldogs and has done well under head coach Joel Brazil, who is, I believe, in his 11th season, because he started coaching here at Grandville when I was still playing high school hockey, and that was before I started playing high school hockey. So obviously, Austin, for a seasoned coach like Joel Brazil, because sometimes you have high school coaches that are along for a long time, and some people in West Michigan, they kind of know guys like Ron Baum back in the day. Of course, that's one of the divisions that's here in the OK Conference. But Brazil, he's been around for a long time, and that's kind of helped because now he's been able to develop his team. And, it's not like a year-to-year thing. It's a progression with a program. When you have a long-term coach like Brazil, that almost kind of helps a Grandville high school team.
Yeah, it most definitely does. When you kind of have that one coach who sticks with the program continuously for as long as you said, you really start to build that culture, and you start to bring, you really start to develop the young guys, through the 4 years that they're, in high school, and you just kind of keep establishing that culture and keep developing the players and entrusting them with the systems that you have installed, and that system is going to stay consistently through a whole entire year. So there's not a heavy adjustment period from year to year, like when you go from coach to coach, there's a bit of an adjustment period, but when you have a coach that's long-term, who is loyal to the program, it really, kind of sticks with you, and there's not that big of an adjustment period.
Well, we're going to turn things over to the ice for the national anthem, and then when we come back, it'll be puck drop between the Rams and the Bulldogs. You're watching high school hockey here on The Kuehl Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege for us to be here tonight was made possible by the brave men and women in our armed forces. Please join me in honoring their sacrifice by the playing of our national anthem. Everyone, please rise, place your hand over your heart, and remove your headwear. Active duty members and veterans may render the appropriate hand salute.
And let's get you those starting goaltenders for the respective clubs tonight. First for the visiting Rams, it'll be Nolan Smith. 4-2-1 record here this season with a .302 goals against average. Gave up all 8 goals on Saturday against Byron Center. You know he's going to want to have a big bounce-back game here tonight. And for the Bulldogs, it'll be Bryson Harrington, the senior, 4-2-1 this season with none other than a .253 goals against average and a .909 save percentage. Second in the division, his best game coming against Howell, where he made 27 saves back on February the 12th. Austin, final thoughts for the game. Senior night, big night for Grandville, but Rockford, they want to get back on the winning track as well.
Yeah, I think overall this should be a very good, very entertaining game, hard-fought game, as both teams, as you said, are trying to make a statement. Grandville, making a statement for senior night, and Rockford trying to show that they're, not as inconsistent as some people may think they are.
Well, we are underway here from Griff's Georgetown as the puck's played on in. Rockford wearing their black jerseys with orange pants. Grandville wearing their home whites with the maroon stripes and maroon trim as we are underway. Puck is played on in the Ram zone. That's Josh Byrne, the senior defenseman. He'll have his senior night just a couple of weeks here for the Rams. As here it comes on the left wing side. That is Carson Court. Dropped it back out in front, trying to find his man. Unfortunately, it was knocked away, and back quickly come the other way come the Bulldogs. Across the line is Yurturo, the leading scorer. Throws it to the middle looking for Brendan Hunt, but that was knocked off his stick. Big hit thrown in the near side corner. Yurturo works it free. Coming in here is Drew Harrington with a shot, and he scores! Drew Harrington beats Nolan Smith to the glove side, and the Bulldogs are out in front in the first minute.
That play started with battle in the corner. I believe that was Yurturo who was able to win that battle in the corner, give it to Harrington, I believe, who scored the goal and shoot glove side. And it looked like for Nolan Smith that he was kind of screened in front, so he was able to pick it up until the last second.
Second goal of the season for Mr. Harrington. Time of the goal, the 41-second mark, as the Bulldogs are off and running here early in this one. Puck's dumped right back into the Ram zone. Trying to pull it out of the pile. That is number 19. That's Gunnar Sadinsky. He drops it back down the corner. That is Harrington on it again. Back to the point. Sadinsky flips one on over to the far side. Faking the one-timer was the defenseman, Josiah Lambers. He tries to move it back down the wall, but the Rams take it back now with Will Haggerty. Throws it off his own man. Here's Harrington. Bad angle shot. Save! Oh, and it skipped off the side of the goal. Smith a little unsure himself on that play as there's a bump thrown behind the goal. Andrew Pullman now out front, but that skips on him and back to the blue line. Held in momentarily, and now in on the forecheck is Gavin Rosema, the second leading scorer for the Bulldogs. Taken off his stick by Haggerty. Pulled out of the pile by Jared Switzer. Looks out in front on the backhand. Centered in, trying to take a swing and a miss. There was the captain, Uturo, as the Rams try to get it out here, as the Rams kind of find themselves reeling here in the opening minute and a half. 1-0 lead here for the Bulldogs. The puck is finally played out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, Rams right now seem to be kind of struggling with their puck possession and just kind of fumbling the puck here and there, and so far Grandville has been able to capitalize that with some turnovers here.
Puck is dumped back in on a nice hold at the blue line by Brendan Bourne. But now the Rams finally get a little bit of room now as they bring it out to center. Chipped on down and all the way into the Bulldog zone, going back behind the net for it looked like it was the defenseman, that was Jeremy Rice, one of the senior defensemen tonight. Puck's dumped back into the Bulldog zone. We're just over 2 minutes into this first period. Bulldogs up by a score of 1-0 after the goal from Drew Harrington. Coming across the line now, dropping it back. As here's a quick shot on, as setting that one up was Carson Court, but it was deflected away. Rice pins his man in the far corner. Trying to pull it out of there is Holden Pratt. Taken on back, though, by the Rams. Centering pass goes all the way up to the point and skips on the stick of Matt Turcott and will come back out to center. As the puck's played in off sides, or icing call here against the Rams. Trying to find, there's number 20 on the ice for the Rams, and unfortunately, struggling mightily up here in the press box is yours truly. May have to do some math here, may have to quickly go down to the scorekeeper's box to try to figure that one out. But nonetheless, 14:21 to go in the first period. 1-0 lead here for the Bulldogs. Face-off coming to the left of Nolan Smith in the Ram zone. Tossed out momentarily was Gunnar Sadinsky, but the Bulldogs win the draw and keep it on in deep. That's Harrington who gets the puck knocked off his stick as the Rams are able to push it out to center by way of Benjamin Rhodes. Puck comes over the near side, stepping up as Easton Pratt moves it on ahead. Here's Drew Harrington, the goal scorer. Top of the circle, this shot, and that one goes wide out of the far side. Back up to the point, that is checked in by Josiah Lambers. Taken off his stick, is now come back the other way, come the Rams. Fanning on the pass momentarily. That was Dylan Perreault, but on second opportunity, getting in the zone, at least is Benjamin Rhodes. But the Bulldogs get it right back, long past the center, knocked down by Sadinsky, and he'll go chasing after it. 13:42 to go in the opening period. Bulldogs up 1. Pass up to the neutral zone. It's streaking on through is Benjamin Rhodes. He leaves it off now for Andrew McPhee. Across the line, and a shot, and the first save of the game is a good glove save made by the netminder. That is Bryson Harrington, the senior, and he holds on.
So far, so good kind of with the pace here for both teams, as it's just kind of been north-south up ice, and both teams trying to get some clean breakouts here and there. As Rockford, they've been kind of struggling with their breakouts, but it seems that they kind of got their feet underneath them. And
there's a shot off the draw by McPhee after a good face-off win by Haggerty and a good save by Harrington. As you were saying, Mr. Strauss.
Yep, just kind of, they look like now they're getting their feet underneath them and kind of look like they're, slow start, but now they seem to, kind of getting it together now, and hopefully we'll see them kind of start to pick up, and for them, hopefully they can start to control the puck a little bit more, especially in Grandville zone.
As we're just past the 3.5-minute mark of this hockey game, the Bulldogs look to break out. Andrew Uturo's pass was knocked down by the Rockford captain, that is number 9, Braden Fouché, who dumps it into the near side corner. He stops it up on the backhand, gets pinned to the boards momentarily by Pratt, but it gets moved off the wall. Good hold in as good pinching play made by the defenseman Presley Webb for the Rams. Uturo gets it back for the Bulldogs. Stretch pass finds Rosema in stride. He'll bring it down the right wing side in the Rockford zone. Throws one into the slot, but it goes wide over the near side. A lot of room now for Haggerty to bring it ahead. Tipped on a good play to slow him up by the senior Evan Willman. Haggerty up the near side, deflected a little bit towards the blue line by Jared Switzer. But it's taken on now by Bulldogs. Oh, and a fan pass. Look out. Here's Switzer with a chance, but a good play. Making up for his own mistake was Josiah Lambers. Austin Strauss, that's not, as a goaltender, you don't want to see your defenseman fan the puck like that in front of your own net.
No, you do not. And, luckily for him, he was able to recover from his, making mistakes. But, yeah, especially as a goaltender, kind of get a little nervous when that happens. But, luckily, the defenseman was responsible for kind of recovering from his own mistake.
Well, now the Rams are trying to get out of their own zone here with 12-12 to go here in the opening period. Wrapping behind the net is Easton Pratt for the Bulldogs. It gets taken away from him, and now coming out of his own zone is the leading scorer for the Rams, Carson Court. Down the left wing side, made one man miss, but not the second, as a good play at the blue line made by Drew Harrington. And Grandville comes back to the way. Andrew Pullman, 1-on-3, gets the puck taken away from him, as now Rockford will try to reverse flow. Tipped on ahead by Benjamin Rhodes. He goes chasing after it, but a good hold at the near side blue line by number 19, Max Hoffman. Here's it right out in front for Hoffman. He fans on it, trying to get his Rhodes. Now it's passed over the near side. Unfortunately, it looked like Hoffman thought he had a man back door, but it misses as the Bulldogs able to clear and dodge a bullet.
Yeah, the play kind of started to develop behind the net with a quick little turnover out in front, but Rockford, seems that they kind of wanted to make that extra little pass, and maybe they should have shot on net on that play.
Bulldogs look for a shot on net. Here's a shot, a skipper from the point by Holden Pratt, but that was knocked away with the glove after a couple of hops. Looking like trying to get out for the baseball team here is Nolan Smith, as he was able to knock that one away. Bulldogs come right back in as Pratt has it, but just ahead of the play was Gavin Rosema. As we have 11:07 to go here in this first period. 1-0 lead here for the Bulldogs. Face off just outside the Rams zone. Dumped on in by Holden Pratt, and stopping it behind his own goal is the goaltender for the Rockford Rams, Nolan Smith. Played up the near side, tipped on ahead by Braden Fouché, but it's taken back by Grandville. In his own zone with it is Easton Pratt up the far side, near side, Rockford, though, gets it on back. Fouché tips it on ahead, but the Bulldogs take it right back, and coming in down the left wing side, that's Brendan Bourne. Cuts to the middle, lost the handle, but grabbing on a nice toe drag as Rosema is in with a shot. Good stick, though, at the last second by Dylan Perreault, helping out his netminder. It gets deflected behind the netminder Smith and up into the netting and out of play. That's a good play there. Good play by Rosema, though, with the toe drag to get the shot on. Unfortunately for him, though, he got thwarted by the Rockford defenseman. So with 10:39 to go in the first period, we'll have a face-off inside the Ram zone. Coming in to take the draw is Brendan Hunt, one of the seniors we honored here tonight. He wins the draw back to the point, chipped on in the near side corner by Easton Pratt. Over to the far side, the Rams get it on back. Perreault chips it out. Unfortunately, couldn't get it out of the zone cleanly. On second chance, though, it's brought ahead by Jacob Deerton. Deerton across the red line, leaves it off for Court, who will just dump it on in. It wraps around the boards and in behind the Grandville goal. Trying to get it out there is Josiah Lambers. He trips up his man as the puck gets chipped into the near side corner. Owen Veniclass tries to get it ahead for Grandville. Unfortunately, got knocked away for a second. Second opportunity, the Bulldogs will get it out as it's pushed on ahead by Braden Mole. Mole across the red line will backhand it on in. The rest of his mates are changing, so he'll go with him as we've hit the 7-minute mark of this first period. Bulldogs lead by a score of 1-0 after the goal by Drew Harrington just 41 seconds in. Dumped on in, but thwarted right back out by the Rams and back out to center. Dumping it on in this time over to the far side is Jeremy Rice. It wraps around the end boards. It comes over to the near side. Taking a bump but moving up is Presley Webb. Held in, though, and a quick shot on from the point. Andrew Pullman and Nolan Smith had to be sharp. Bulldogs in on the attack. Here's Holden Pratt at the near side half wall with a shot from a bad angle and a good glove save made by Nolan Smith. And he'll hold on for a face-off at the 7.5-minute mark of this first period. No shot counter here at the Griffs Georgetown, unfortunately, for all the folks at home. So we'll kind of have to take a guesstimate on how many shots are for each team. Right now, it seems like the Bulldogs have the majority of the shots, but a couple of good chances, though, for the Rams in this one. Still early on here. Here's a chance for Yaturo from bad angle. A shot and a good save made by Nolan Smith. He holds on to it. Yaturo now bringing it out all the way up to the neutral zone. Puck is played on in. 9:15 to go in this first period. Puck's in the near side corner. Will Haggerty trying to get it out, but it gets taken away by Andrew Pullman. Gives on now for his teammate. That is Brendan Bourne. And just a clarification, number 20 is actually Owen DeVries, usually number 8, but number 20 on the ice tonight. But look at this guy down the right wing side. It's Andrew McPhee with a shot. Good blocker save made by Bryson Harrington. Play continues on, but it's taken out by Urtero. He picks up a little bit of speed out of the neutral zone. 3-on-2 now, coming across the line. Drops it to the left side for Roseman with a shot. He looked to go short side, but misses. Puck wraps all the way out to the neutral zone. As the Bulldogs look to get it back in, a pass that was deflected as trying to throw it to the near side was Lambers for Grandville. Dumped on in by Brendan Bourne. Takes a bump, but he'll go for a change. 8:30 to go here in this first period. Here's a chip up the glass, or at least intended to chip it off the glass, was J.D. Lamons. Unfortunately put up in the netting and out of play. Thank you very much, Austin Strauss, for helping us clarify that. As we were looking around, we were looking for number 8, Owen DeVries. We're like, man, that can't be him, number 20. However, high school hockey's a little funny that way.
Yes, it is. Sometimes you switch jersey, or sometimes you maybe forget your jersey, and coaches have a spare. There's definitely been a few times where, especially as a goaltender, I've actually had to loan out some of my jerseys to some of my players who may have forgotten their jersey.
See, but it's never the other way around. Us goaltenders, we can't fit into player sweaters that easily.
Nope, no, we cannot, so we definitely always make sure that our jerseys are in our bag.
Puck is in the Rockford zone as the Rams look to break it out. Pass up the near side, finds Benjamin Rose with speed. Across the blue line with a long shot. Easy left pad save made by the netminder Harrington. Thrown back out in front, skips all the way towards the blue line. Held in for a moment, and a good job coming over is Josh Byrne, but it skips out. Is now breaking in on the left wing side is Lambers. Rest of his mates are changed, and he takes a shot. It goes off the leg of the defenseman Perot and behind the goal. Big hit thrown as Lambers sends his man. As taking a ride was Byrne for the Rams. Bulldogs still on the attack on the near side half wall with it is Sadinsky. To the top of the circle, this shot. That misses. Bad angle try. Oh, and a good chance. But banging off the side of the goal is Harrington looking for goal number 2 in this first period. Back to the blue line. Another try is from the top of the circle was Easton Pratt. Another try here is Harrington over to the far side. Lambert shot. That goes off a stick and then sputtering into the near side corner. Trying to push it on ahead for Rockford is Rhodes, but it gets taken away. Bulldogs hemming the Rams in once again, but Rhodes will just clear it out and down the ice. And this is the beneficiary of playing high school hockey compared to college or pro. You can change after an icing call, and I'm sure the Rams will like that right now.
Yep, exactly. I mean, as you said, icing in high school hockey can definitely be your friend. Again, like you said, you don't need to make line changes, which definitely help. And especially for Rockford, I mean, Grandville, that was just a wonderful time of possession with them, doing a wonderful job of cycling the puck, getting the pucks to the point for their D and have them shoot and trying to get some rebounds.
And they follow it up with their top line of Rosema, Brendan Bourne, and Andrew Urtero, who tries to hold it in on the near side half wall. Pulled off by Owen DeVries, number 20 on the ice. Will play it over the near side. That's Carson Court. Across the line, he's looking to shoot. Takes a shot, and a good blocker save through traffic by the netminder Harrington. DeVries on it behind the net. Back up to the point for the defenseman Lamons. Plays it back down low. Skips on by Jared Switzer. Court has it. Looking out in front. He gets bumped for his troubles and now gets knocked away and all the way up to the right point and just out as Switzer couldn't hold it in for Rockford. They'll have to regroup now. With 6:40 to go in the first period, Bulldogs leading by 1. Owen DeVries for Court, back for DeVries as he'll dump it on into the Grandville zone. He'll go for a change. Back on it for Grandville's Holden Pratt. Comes out from behind his own goal, overlays his options. He'll move it over the near side. That's the captain, Urtero, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs. Off the boards for Brendan Bourne. He gets ran hard as Switzer put him into the boards with a clean shoulder check. Here coming up from behind his own goal, trying to stretch it there was Deerton, but it gets knocked right back in to the Rockford Rams zone. As it just seems like the Rams can't get too many clean breakouts here so far in this first period. A little bit of trouble in that far corner as running his own man was Dylan Perot. Bulldogs able to get it back now as here's Brendan Hunt. A pass across, deflected out to the neutral zone. Braden Fouché going after it. Gets knocked back towards center, but coming right back in with speed is Haggerty. Tries to get a shot off. It gets blocked. All those Bulldogs right in the slot, not letting anything through as the puck skips back out to the neutral zone.
Rockford's D doing a wonderful job jumping in the play, doing their absolute best to keep the puck in the zone, and if not, they're doing a wonderful job of recovering as well as just trying to get backwards, trying to protect their defensive zone.
Rams trying to get it back out of their own zone once again as coming down the left wing side was Andrew Pullman. It gets thrown over to the far corner. Harrington on a good pinch is able to knock it away. Gets tripped up a little bit, but he's getting helped out by his teammate Pullman. Pullman trying to center for Drew Harrington, but it was knocked away. As coming back the way 2-on-2 are the Rams, dumping it on, but this will be icing as behind the line was Gabe Olenzek, and that'll force the Rams to come 200 feet back into their own zone. That's one of those plays that you like to see, the fact that a guy's trying to dump it in there, Austin. Unfortunately, just kind of forgot the fact that there's the red line he's got to cross first.
Yep, it definitely happens sometimes. Just you kind of forget the awareness where you are on the ice, and you think you're past the red line when in reality you're not. And sometimes it depends on the officiating. So, some referees may let it go as they kind of understand what you're trying to do, but others are going to, kind of stick to the rule book, and they're going to call icing if you don't fully cross that line.
Face off in the Ram zone, won by the Bulldogs. They have possession as Gavin Rosema throws it towards the front, trying to find Utero, but it gets knocked to the near side corner. Utero trying to avoid a check. He's able to knock it towards the slot, but it's pulled out by Carson Court. Gets it by one man. Now DeVries will pick it up with speed. Falling down is the defenseman Fields. He's in. He scores! With speed down the wing, Owen DeVries taking advantage of the Grandville mishap, and we're tied up at 1.
Yep, as you said, that play, I believe, all started with that was Carson Court, who was able to chip it up near the red line, was able to get it to DeVries, and the defenseman for Grandville, he kind of got tripped up on the play, which kind of led to that mini breakaway, and as you said, DeVries was kind of able to bury that one, and 1-1.
He doesn't miss too many of those, and that's why for DeVries, that now gives him 7 goals on the season, tied for second on the team with Will Haggerty. And we're knotted back up at 1. Time of that goal, the 12:10 mark, as it's a brand new hockey game here. And after the way the game was starting for Grandville, I'm sure Rockford's happy now to be tied up at 1. As now they'll look to bring out their own zone. Josh Byrne will play it over the near side. Coming on over is Switzer. He'll stop up, but he gives it away, at least momentarily. Andrew Pullman pokes it in to the Rockford zone for Grandville. Puck is chipped at center, and we'll jump on into the penalty box. There's a lot of space behind the benches here at Grandville, unlike some other rinks, which is actually pretty nice, and it can just bounce off the wall and stay over there, whereas sometimes at the usual rink that we work at, Austin, Patterson, the puck can bounce off the wall, hit the players in the back because it's all open back there.
Yep, that is very true. It's, you kind of feels a little bit like a war zone sometimes. You're just kind of ducking and hoping you don't get hit.
Of course, Griff's Georgetown was built, was it built? I think it was in 2003. I was around, I remember when it was first open, there was a couple Griffins practices and a couple scrimmages that were here. I feel old now because that rink was built when I was in elementary school as the Rockford Rams try to get on the offensive attack here. Pulled out there, trying to move it through is Fouché, but it gets knocked off his stick, and a good play made by the defenseman Hunt to knock it into the corner. Pulling it out of the corner, trying to get a shot off his Haggerty. Save made by Harrington. It's cleared out and down the ice, and this will certainly go for icing. And that's one thing, too, I've noticed as well, Austin, here in high school hockey. The goaltender can come out of the net a little bit. As long as he's signaling icing, the ref will still call icing. In other levels of hockey, if you exit that crease on an icing, the ref will blow it or just wave it off immediately.
Yep, that is very true. Yeah, they kind of, high school, they get a little bit of leniency with some of those plays. But, part of it is just kind of the safety and just kind of allowing high school players to do what you do. But as you said, at higher levels and different levels, goalie, you step out of that crease during an icing, they're waving it off.
As the puck is played on back, the Rams won the draw, but a shot was blocked. Is trying to get it through with Jacob Dearton. Andrew Pullman is trying to bring it in, but he got worked off the puck by Court. Look out here, 2-on-1 with DeVries. Court lost the handle, coming in late with a chance. Oh, and a good left pad save as Switzer came in, but Bryson Harrington says no. Good hold at the line for a moment by Dylan Perreault, but it's dumped right back in the Grandville zone. 3.5 to go in this first period. We're tied at 1. Rams almost coming close to leading 2-1, but a good job by the senior netminder for the Bulldogs. Here's Court with it again at the line. A shot that goes off the leg of the goal scorer for Grandville, Drew Harrington. Drew Harrington comes across the line, couldn't get a clean look at it, but still drives towards the goal, but it's picked out of his stick by Carson Court, and back the way come the Rams. 2-on-4 as Court went off for a change, but able to go on through his Switzer. Now he's all by himself. He's able to get around. That is going to the defenseman Holden Pratt. He brings it behind the goal. Look out here, trying to get it free is Andrew McPhee, and does. Fortunately, his centering pass was knocked off to the side. Rams still have it at the point. A throw thrown towards the goal by Haggerty was blocked. Haggerty has it again. He'll just dump it on in the corner. Jeremy Rice on back for the Bulldogs. He works off a check. Utero's pass to the center. He's able to be tipped along. Gavin Rosemo will bring it all along for the Bulldogs. He'll dump it on him. Nolan Smith stops it behind his net for Rockford. 2.5 to go as Utero tries to throw a bump, but the Bulldogs unable to keep it in as here come the Rams the other way with speed. Left wing side is Haggerty trying to center it through, but it gets taken away. Second opportunity, gets it to the front. As look out here, a chance. Oh, and it goes deflected as Andrew McPhee had a wide open chance as he was fed by Braden Fouché in front. I don't know if that went off a defenseman or not, but Austin, that was a close call.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. For Grandville's, goaltender, he kind of was a little bit lost there. He didn't really see where that was at.
There's a shot. Oh, and Nolan Smith saves it. Sorry, Austin. It was a good chance, and Smith stopped it, but he didn't know where it was after a good chance by Rosema. As the puck was played, there was offsides. He playing the puck was Brendan Hunt. The linesman said no offsides. Rockford doesn't like it, but we continue on here with 1:50 to go here in the opening period. Andrew Utero on the near side corner, bound the back end, trying to center it off to the near side, trying to find Hunt, but his pass was taken away. Rhodes chipping up the wall for the Rams, held in, though, momentarily at the point by Easton Pratt, but they finally work it out into the neutral zone, does Rockford. Go ahead, Austin.
You're fine. Very interesting events there, kind of with the delayed offsides and kind of these chances going back here. And
Bulldogs again with it. Pratt, nice move to get around one man. Couldn't get around the second, but a good job helping in on the forecheck here. That is Gunnar Sadinsky. Trying to spin away from the check by Presley Webb. Now he gets pinned to the boards. 1:15 to go here in this opening period. Puck's pulled out of the pile by Josh Byrne. Pass over the near side. Finds Ben Rhodes with speed. He'll dump it on in and go chasing after it alongside number 16, Gabe Olenzek for Rockford. Olenzek puts the other number 16 out there. Jeremy Rice into the boards. Now it's in the near side corner with under a minute to play in the opening period. Three aside do battle, but it gets pulled out by the home squad, the Bulldogs, and it's chipped out by Harrington. He'll go chase after it now while a couple of his mates go change. Owen DeVries circles up and picks up speed as he enters the zone. He'll dump it in on the backhand and go chasing after it. Back for Grandville is Josiah Lambers. Able to get away from a couple guys, and he swings it right in front of his own bench with speed through the neutral zone. Gets it knocked off his stick, but he's able to work it into the Rams zone. Backhands it down low, but it's grabbed back by Rockford, Dylan Perot. Over to the far side, Court lets it go by him, held at the point. Here's Lambers. He'll fake the shot. Court tries to take it off his stick. Now they do battle, but Court's able to poke at center. Look out here. DeVries gets it ahead. Breakaway for Switzer. He's in on goal. Good left pad save made by Bryson Harrington. Cleared out and down the ice, and this will go for icing. That's a big stop by the senior netminder, Austin, trying to keep his team, trying to keep this game tied at 1.
Yep, it sure was. I mean, that was a great save by him, keeping this a 1-1 game with only 8 seconds left. Wow, and Carson Court for Rockford, he kind of started that play by pickpocketing the defense over there. That was Lambers for Grandville, and able to spring up his man for a quick little breakaway.
8 seconds left even here in the period, and maybe a quick chance here for the Rams. They have on the draw Will Haggerty. Looks like he's going to try to send it on back to his man Lamont, but it's won by the Bulldogs. Chip down the ice. 3 seconds and 2. Smith will just play in the corner, and that's how we'll end period number 1. Is one more little bump thrown by Rosema on the defenseman. I believe that was actually number 20, Owen DeVries. So we'll end the first period tied at 1. Early goal for Drew Harrington, and then a goal later on by Owen DeVries for Rockford is why we're even after 17 minutes of play. We'll take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we will recap the first period for you in full. You are watching high school hockey here on The Kuehl Show. The Kuehl Show, which you can catch every Monday night on 12 Ounce Sports, a show that goes in-depth with hockey analysis and great interviews like this one here with longtime Red Wings play-by-play broadcaster Ken Kuehl. A few minutes ago that I still have Chris Osgood in my office here on the set of The Kuehl Show. But like you said, 2008 stands as the last cup in Motown. But obviously, as great the playoffs were, and that series against Pittsburgh was memorable, it's Game 6 that is always the most memorable, because not just for, the Wings winning the cup, but for you, Ken, in particular. You just came off Game 5 where it was a triple overtime game. I stayed up all night to only be disappointed to watch Peter Sikora score for the Pens. And then the morning of Game 6. Ken, take us through that day through the eyes of Ken Kuehl.
Well, just going back to Game 5, and if I'm wrong with this recollection, make sure you correct me, but I remember that the Red Wings had the lead with about 30 seconds to go, and we were really counting it down just because the Red Wings should have won the cup on home ice, and then they scored the goal, right, to tie it up, and then it went into triple overtime, and they won. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was Maxime Talbot tying up, and I remember Holmstrom had that great chance in front of the net, too.
Yeah, and so I just remember everybody, they had the locker room all set up for interviews and everything, and with 30 seconds to go, there was going to be overtime. Everybody, I'm hearing the second hand, but everybody went into the Red Wing locker room, and there was chaos in there because they had to tear everything out of there because they didn't win the cup, right? So, yeah, that was pretty disappointing, but yeah, it was a long game, and then the next day was a travel day. We went to Pittsburgh, and I just felt that something wasn't right. Like, I don't know if I was catching a cold or something, but something just wasn't right. And then the morning of Game 6, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't talk. And I was panicking a little bit, and I'm going like, well, let's give this some time. Maybe by 8 or 9 in the morning, it'll get better, but it just got worse. And so I had to email my boss over at the radio station, and they brought Ken Daniels in to do the game. And Kenny, to this day, I still say he should have called the final 11 or 12 or 15 seconds, just because of the fact that he did the game. And as a TV guy, you never get the opportunity to call history, I guess, because you're done after the first round. The radio guys get an opportunity to go all the way. But when he threw it to me, I think I only had about 15 seconds of voice left, and what a thrill it was, because Pittsburgh almost tied it up. Puck went through the crease after Osgood made a great save, and the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup. But I think I had just enough voice to get through it, and everything worked out.
Everyone talks about, a great, overcoming adversity, like, Bobby Baugh in the 64 finals against Detroit scoring on a broken leg, Michael Jordan with the flu game, as we've learned now, is the food poisoning game. No one ever talks about the laryngitis game, Ken. I can't believe it.
Well, I'm not a player, and I think if it was a player that had some, like you said, Bobby Baugh breaking the leg, it'd be a little bit different.
And you can catch more of those interviews just like that on The Kuehl Show every Monday night on 12-Ounce Sports. Tyler Kuehl alongside Austin Strauss here at Griff's Georgetown. After 17 minutes of play, the Bulldogs and the Rams knotted up at 1. Austin, it was a real good first period. Started off early, though, and the Bulldogs, we talked about a little about the pregame. The senior night's always great, but sometimes you would think, maybe all the festivities kind of gets to you and, kind of gets the legs a little sluggish. And it doesn't seem like some teams will start on time when with all the pregame festivities going around.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of nailed it on the head. It's really kind of difficult to engage on, the teams in terms of how are they going to handle this, because it is a lot. And, obviously you always want to celebrate the seniors, but sometimes it can just kind of feel like a little bit too much, and it may kind of, make them kind of forget that, hey, like, you are still playing a hockey game and you need to jump right for the start. But for Grandville, I mean, they, like you said, they came out flying, and 40 seconds in, they, get the first goal.
That was a goal by Drew Harrington, his second of the season. And you mentioned it, too, right after that goal. It doesn't seem like Nolan Smith really saw it. It looked like it was right through him, went right under the glove, right underneath the pad, and there was a lot of bodies right in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of from the angle of the shot, I mean, kind of low dot. It's a little difficult for a goaltender to kind of cut that angle off, and especially kind of looked like one of his defensemen and one of the forwards for Grandville were kind of in his line of vision, so he really couldn't pick it up until the last second. And, I mean, that's one of the best ways to score goals is you take away the ice from the goaltender, you just kind of shoot it on net.
And that's always, the coaches always say, never a bad shot, always get pucks on net. Us goaltenders, we sometimes ask for, maybe a little bit less on the shooting sometimes. At least our stats probably will ask for that. But regardless, after that, not a whole lot of scoring until later on in the period, until late in the period, a little bit of a break, a little bit of a slip-up by the defenseman Trammell Fields, and that allowed Owen DeVries coming down the right wing side. He's able to beat the goaltender Bryson Harrington, and we're tied up at 1.
Yep, exactly, kind of like you said, and kind of in a weird way, and you may feel the same way. I mean, this kind of period kind of felt two different stories where the first part of the period, Grandville really was kind of starting to dominate the play. They were keeping puck possession. And then kind of towards the end of the period for Rockford, after that goal, kind of after that slip-up and Owen DeVries able to bury that puck, it kind of felt like, Rockford just kind of, they started to dominate play more. They started getting pucks in deep, cycling down low. Their defense really starting to get engaged, keeping the puck in the zone, and they were really starting to dominate play towards the end of the period.
Yeah, that's something, too, because when you kind of fall behind a little bit early, sometimes a goal in the first minute of a hockey game can really set the tone. But the Rams really came back, and they put a lot of pressure on in the Bulldog zone. But let's be honest, Bryson Harrington, we talked about being a senior, and I myself remember my senior night. I played, but I don't think I did well at all. Bryson Harrington, though, had to make a couple of big saves, including on a breakaway on Jared Switzer.
Yeah, he is looking wonderful tonight. I mean, he seems very calm and present. He has great rebound control. I mean, there was a few chances where he kind of lost sight of the puck, but, Rockford couldn't, get a, good shot off. But, I mean, overall, he's looking very well. Like I said, rebound control, and he's coming up with big saves. I mean, that breakaway save was wonderful to keep him, tied 1-1.
And that's where, of course, we talked about Harrington won, and Nolan Smith, he made a couple of saves. We saw that one chance. He makes the save. He doesn't know where it is, but it's right down in between his pads. I mean, you almost think maybe that first shot on goal, that first goal of the game, maybe kind of got in his head a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes that can definitely happen for goaltenders, especially at this level. He's a junior, so he's a little experienced, but it's still, sometimes those nerves do get to you. I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes if I do let in, first shot, first goal, there's that kind of nerves, and there's kind of, their confidence may start to tilt a little bit, so you may kind of stop tracking the puck on certain saves, or you just don't feel confident where the puck is, and you start to get a little panicky, and it kind of looked like for Nolan Smith, that's kind of what he started to do there, but he was still able to make the saves, and hopefully for him, that will give him a bit of a confidence boost to be like, hey, let the first one, you got to move forward, and you just got to focus on the next shot.
Hopefully he will focus on the next shot. I remember I gave up my first goal playing senior A up in Canada, gave it up on the first shot of the game. It's been 10 years. It's been about 5 years since then. Still haven't gotten back on track. We'll take another break, folks. When we come back, we will give you more puck drop. Holy cow. More high school hockey action with puck drop for period 2 between the Bulldogs and the Rams. You're watching high school hockey here on The Kuehl Show, which you can get all sorts of fun and entertaining interviews with some of the biggest names in the industry, including Sportsnet 650 and the play-by-play voice of EA Sports NHL's James Cebulski.
And says, holy cow, Trump just shut down international travel in the U.S. And it's like, wow, that is serious. And so I take another 5 steps, and a colleague of mine gets up and comes over to me and says, the NBA just shut down. Rudy Gobert just tested positive, and you're going, oh my God, the NBA just halted play in the middle of the evening of scheduled play, and they just stopped. Like, wow.
During the Mavericks game, that was the famous one.
Yeah, and that was one that really kind of made it. And I feel like sports had such a major impact in terms of finally making everybody take this way more serious than they probably were at the time. So it's like Trump has shut down international travel. 5 seconds later, somebody says the NBA just shut down. And then 5 seconds after I go, holy crap, this is getting serious. I turn around and somebody else comes over and says, Tom Hanks has coronavirus. And it's oh my God, Forrest Gump's going to die. And at the time you're like, this is crazy. And so it was that night where it was all going down, and spending an hour on stage with Drew Brees and kind of seeing how things kind of worked for him last weekend. And that was kind of the last night to see anybody in some form of public setting after that particular night. We've just been working from home, where I've worked on my COVID beard and, probably justified way too many chocolates and glasses of wine and bags of chips, just blaming everything on COVID.
And welcome back inside Griff's Georgetown here. Second period about to begin between the Bulldogs and the Rams. Tyler Kuehl alongside Austin Strauss. Good first period for both teams in terms of just getting on the board. Bulldogs start off strong, but the Rams, Austin, like we mentioned, they came back, and now we got a whole different hockey game.
Yep, we do. I mean, they had a sluggish start, but towards the end of the period, again, as you kind of talked about, they really started to come on, and they really started to put the pressure on Grandville. So I think it's definitely going to be very interesting to see kind of how this period goes. Is it going to be kind of similar where one team will dominate for a period of time and the other team will start to push back, or is it going to be more evenly matched? But I think definitely for both teams and their style of play, it's definitely going to come down to puck possession. Which team's going to be able to get on the puck more and, get shots to the net and hopefully get some rebounds.
Absolutely. Bulldogs in their home whites going left to right across your screen now. Rams in their road blacks with orange pants going right to left as we're underway in period number 2. Bulldogs press the puck in, but a big hit there early is knocking his man down with J.D. Lamons. It looks like that was the goal scorer, Drew Harrington, going for a ride in the far corner. Pulled out of the pile as there's a hit thrown by Harrington as he threw Owen DeVries into the boards as the physicality is picking up here early in period 2, but a chance out in front as a centering pass intended for Harrington misses as Andrew Pullman was trying to find him in front. This puck slides all the way back into the Grandville zone. Back to the way comes Pullman on across. Goes off the knob of the stick there momentarily of Rosenmel. He's able to push into the far corner before taking a bump.
Yeah, so far this game, we haven't really seen a whole lot of physicality from either teams. It's been overall pretty kind of clean game, a little upbeat pace, but, maybe for the coaches, maybe they kind of want to see a little bit more physical play and really kind of start the physicality on their team.
I agree with you there. Icing call against the the Rams. The faceoff will come back 200 feet. But yeah, obviously, that's one thing too. It's just a lot of free flow play in the first period. Maybe a little bit of feeling out these teams. I know they had played earlier this season. It's been a few weeks, but when you play so many games, sometimes you forget what it's like playing in a team even in your own division.
You do, yep. I mean, especially kind of like you said, just playing different teams, and you kind of
look out! Here's a chance and a shot by Rosemont. That one off a leg. It looked like getting in the way. That one was Dylan Perot.
Yep, wonderful block there by Rockford's defenseman. But as kind of stated earlier, it is kind of difficult to figure out the team that you went up against a few weeks ago because you're focused on different teams, and sometimes you get a little forgetful, but I think for them, they're really starting to pick it up this period.
There's a lot of games for both teams. We'll get to their upcoming schedules in the second intermission. Here's the puck's played out in front. That's kicked away by Perot for the Rams, and now back the way come with speed is the captain, Braden Fouché, and he's upended with a good clean check coming across the middle. That was the defenseman Josiah Lambers for the Bulldogs.
Wonderful play by Lambers just to stick with the body and not fall for any of those little tricks that Rockford had there for him.
Here come the Bulldogs, 2-on-1. Right wing side, Utero drags it on through and a shot. That went off the leg of the defenseman Dearton and wide. Utero on it again at the top of the circle across. Here's a chance for Hunt. Oh, and a good save made by Smith. And he holds on, and we talked about it. The confidence that Smith needed after that first period. That's a good, confident-looking save.
It sure was. I mean, great movement from side to side, great tracking ability, and, again, wonderful rebound control for him to stop the puck on the initial shot, immediately find it, and cover it.
Faceoff will come to his left. We're just a minute 42 into this second period, tied at 1 between the Rams and the Bulldogs on senior night here for the home Grandville High School. Kicked out of the draw, though, is Owen DeVries. So Brendan Hunt will take the draw against leading scorer for the Rams, Carson Court, who had an assist on the DeVries goal back in that first period. Puck's played on over to the far side, tipped into the face-off circle as the Rams looking to clear Jared Switzer, who had a great opportunity on a breakaway back in that first period. Bryson Harrington for the Bulldogs said no to it, and that's why we were still at a 1-1 score. Puck played on back into the Rams zone. Up the left wing side is the defenseman J.D. Lamons. Now it's tipped ahead. Here's DeVries. Gets it knocked off his stick, but he'll go chase it over the far half wall and backhand it back down low. Jeremy Rice, one of the seniors for the Bulldogs, going back on for it. He gets bumped, but he's able to push it off to the near side corner. Has a little bit of room now, and will try to break it out. Gets it on ahead, knocked away for a second away from Evan Willman, but dumping it on in for the Bulldogs was Braden Mole. Coming off the bench, throwing a hit is Pullman. Too many men. Yep, the arm goes up, and that'll be a penalty. 1, 2, 3, maybe 7 or 8 Bulldogs on the ice, so that'll give the first power play of the game to the visiting Rams.
Yeah, you don't really like seeing that penalty for if you're Grandville. It's just kind of an undisciplined play. I mean, obviously for Grandville, they want to jump into that play, but sometimes you got to forget. You got to make sure that your guy's off the ice before you can make a play.
You just get that energy let's get in there and make a play, and that's why if you're a defenseman on an opposing team, sometimes they look to that bench, especially in the second period, trying to break the puck out. Just fire it over there and hope it hits somebody because that'll get them a power play. And the Bulldogs try to figure out who they're going to send to the box. Coach Joel Brazil is kind of with the shoulder shrug saying, what do you mean too many men on the ice? And, well, Joel, from up here, it looked like there was about 5 or 6, at least 6 or 7 coming on the ice, coming off at the same time. And that's what happens with those full-scale changes. It looks like it'll be Gunnar Sadinsky going to sit for the 2 minutes, the bench minor.
I don't think I've ever seen a coach or a player talk themselves out of a penalty.
I have, and I know the ref out here we have here tonight, Jay Cambitch, who actually used to play at Davenport back in my day. And I asked him, how's the reffing going to be tonight? And he said, I'll let you know when I make the first call. So no penalty until the 2.5-minute mark of the second period. So maybe he wants to let the boys play it a little bit. First power play of the game for the Rams. The Rams this season have 4 power play goals to their name. The Bulldogs shorthanded, 0 shorthanded goals so far in this young but almost over season, if you will, as they're able to clear it out and down the ice. Coming back behind his own goal is the defenseman Dylan Perot. Perot this season for the Rams, he's up there towards the top in points for defensemen. 6 points so far in the first 10 games for the visiting Rams. He has it back again as the Bulldogs not allowing him to go through the neutral zone yet. Second opportunity, played on over. DeVries has it. He'll just push it on into the near side corner. Coming on over is Josiah Lambers. He gets met by DeVries in that corner. DeVries trying to get it back as the Rams trying to set up shop, but a good job by Lambers to get it to the line and out. Good job so far by the Bulldogs on the penalty kill effort.
As you said, I mean, they're doing a great job of just getting the puck, and they're just sending it deep and really just preventing Rockford from getting any good scoring opportunity for even setting up in their own zone.
Andrew Pullman with a big hit in the corner as he knocked down Fouché, who's a little bit slow to get up as he rejoins the play. Now here's Court at the near side half wall. Dropped down back to the point. Unfortunately, no one there, and having to retreat in the neutral zone is the defenseman Perreault. 45 seconds left in the power play for the Rams. 13-13 to go here in the middle stands, and we're knotted up at 1 between the Bulldogs and the Rams. Here's a pass across. Haggerty finds a man, McPhee, but he couldn't handle it.
That was a wonderful play by McPhee from the point, just to see that lane open and just kind of, fire through there. And that was a great pass for Rockford, but just couldn't control the puck there.
Here's a chance. Oh, and Dearton trying to put one through, and that went high and wide. Still on it is Haggerty. A shot from the top of the slot, and that went off a leg. It looks like it went off his own man, Hoffman, in front. Here's a hit thrown as Haggerty shrugs off a man. He has it, tries to stuff it, comes back out in front, tries to get a shot away. Good job, though, by Holden Pratt to knock it off his stick. Haggerty on it again for the Rams. 5 seconds left here on the power play. Dearton from the point. The shot save made by Harrington, and he'll hold on. That's a real good save, Austin, by Harrington to not just, try to fight through traffic, but hold on to the rebound with all the Rams right around him.
It was, yeah. I mean, as you said, as a goaltender, you want to do your absolute best to make sure you see the puck, and he did a great job of challenging out of his crease, looking for the shot, and just being able to track it all the way through into his chest and just, able to hang on for a face-off.
Only 2 seconds left before Gunnar Sadinsky jumps out of the box. Face-off won, though, by the Rams, and a quick shot attempt by Olenzik was blocked. Second opportunity blocked by Urturo, and now here come the Bulldogs back to the way. Maybe a 3-on-2. Across with a chance. That was Lambers. And a good save made by Smith. He had a man back door, but Lambers had to take the shot himself, but a good save made by the Rams netminder.
It was, and that play kind of developed. I mean, as soon as the power play was over, Grandville was able to get a quick turnover. Good stretch pass there for a quick 3-on-2 and a pretty good scoring opportunity for him.
Right now, the Bulldogs trying to get back out in front. Like we said, they are third in this Rue division. Rue division named after the longtime ref here in West Michigan, David Rue, who passed away, unfortunately, a few years back. One of my favorite refs I ever got to play around, and one of the few refs that actually I got along with, Austin. It was a real great guy, and glad we can honor him by naming one of the divisions here in the OK Conference. Is now the Rams bring it on ahead with 12 minutes left here in the second period. Here's Switzer across the line. Drops it on back. Pushing it down low is Josh Byrne. But the Bulldogs get it back and clear it out and down the ice. Not enough for icing, so go on back and play, and it will be Dylan Perreault. He'll play it over the near side all the way to the blue line and almost held in. Good hustle play made by Brendan Bourne. Unfortunately, it was all for naught. Here's Court now picking up with speed on the left wing side. He's into the Bulldog zone, trying to get around, but a good job by Josiah Lambers to lay out and make a good defensive play.
Wonderful job there for him to not give up on that play. He kind of knew his beat, so he made one last-ditch effort, and it paid off for him.
Here's Perreault with a shot, and that one misses to the far side, trying to look for maybe a tip there. Puck tip below the goal line, having a little bit of issues with it behind his own net is Easton Pratt. Second opportunity, he'll clear out and down the ice, but it'll be played out by Perreault. Over the near side, it's Fouché. Fouché for the Rams dumps it on in. Going on the forecheck is Andrew McPhee, but back there is Pratt. He gives it away, thrown out in front by Haggerty, but nobody there for Rockford. Bulldogs get it back at the captain, Urturo. The leading scorer for the Bulldogs. Makes a couple of man misses, being harassed from the side by Haggerty, but he'll push on along across the line in the Rockford zone. His mates are changing. He gives up the puck. He'll go out for a change himself, but the Bulldogs are able to get a fresh 5 out there just past the 6-minute mark of the second period. Dumped on in the Bulldog zone. Knocked down by Jeremy Rice. He's being checked now by Haggerty. A little bit of help coming by way of Holden Pratt. As now Grandville will look to break it out once again. Holden Pratt, left wing side, who picks up speed, gets around one man, gets bumped with a good shoulder check, trying to play to the front. Oh, what a play made by Sadinsky to center it, but unfortunately Nolan Smith with a big save on Drew Harrington.
Yep, great save, but I mean, that was just a wonderful play by Grandville to just, great move by the fenceman to get it in, and then a great diving play. As you said, that was Sadinsky, as you said, made that play for that opportunity in front.
Here's Drew Harrington on the near side corner, the only goal scorer in this game for the Bulldogs. He gets ran into on a good clean check by J.D. Lamons. Rams trying to clear in the area, able to just only to the neutral zone, though. Lambers fires it back in. Lamons on it again for the Rams. Plays it off the glass. Gloved on down as McPhee looks to move it ahead. As we've just passed the 7-minute mark of this second period. Still 1-1. Both goals scored in the first period of this game between Rockford and Grandville. Here from Griff's Georgetown Ice Arena, Tyler Kuehl alongside Austin Strauss. Here, glad you can join us here for some more high school hockey action here on the Kuehl Show. Play on in. Oh, and a good play there, or at least a little sneaky play by Braden Mole. Looked like he was going to dump it, but look out. Ben Rhodes on a breakaway for the Rams. What a play by Josiah Lambers to come back and knock it away before Rhodes can get a shot off.
This Lambers for Grandville has been all over tonight, just making great offensive and defensive plays, and he's just so far never given up on a play so far tonight.
He's laid out a couple times, saved maybe a goal there, as here's a chance trying to break on through as Owen Venclass. Venclass gets pinned to the boards. Gavin Rosema now helping out for the Bulldogs. Taken away as Rhodes will now just flip it out to the neutral zone, takes a tumble, and it's fired right on back in by Trammell Fields, the freshman defenseman. Bulldogs changing here with 9:09 left here in the second period. We're knotted up at 1. Long stretch pass in the neutral zone for Rockford, taken away by the Bulldogs. Getting upended was Rosema. That'll be a penalty as the puck will be touched up here by Rockford's Dylan Perreault as Ben Fields, or I believe, it'll be number 19, Max Hoffman, who's arguing the call. So now the Bulldogs will get an opportunity with the man advantage here, with the penalty coming just past the 8-minute mark of the second period.
Yeah, it just kind of looked like he was going for the puck there, but accidentally caught the Grandville's player's skate. And for Grandville, that's a great opportunity for him to hopefully capitalize on this power play opportunity, go up here in the second.
As the Bulldogs, the Rams have not scored a shorthanded goal this season. Only 3 for the Bulldogs so far through the first 9 games of their season, as the puck is cleared out. And that could have almost taken some offs, as quite a few players and even a couple of coaches had to duck for cover there. They have masks on the bench right now over there for both teams, for coaches, but it's not our kind, not the goaltending mask like we have there, Mr. Strauss.
Nope, not even close.
Face off to the right of Nolan Smith in the Rockford zone, won by the Bulldogs. Rosema plays it to the point. Holden Pratt holds it. Moves it down in the corner. That's Uturo. He looks over his options now at the top of the left point. Walks it all the way to the middle, down to his left for Rosema. Gavin Rosema. Back to the right point. 4 guys up top and a one-timer by Rosema. Easy stick save made by Smith. Back up to the point. It's Rosema again. Down to his left. Trying to look for some room here as Bourne. He gets on across for Utero at the right point. Down low. Pratt out in front. Oh, and he had a man, Bourne, but he couldn't connect on the pass. Rosema back up at the point. Over for Utero. Utero drags around one man down low in the near side corner. It's Lambers. All the way back up to the point. Pratt for the Utero with a one-timer and a wild one that probably would have made its way all the way over to Zealand if it had not hit the glass, and the puck is cleared out and down the ice.
Grandville on their power play doing an overall really good job of just moving the puck and also moving their feet as well. That's kind of what some teams kind of lack on power play, is some teams tend to be stationary, but Grandville, they're doing a wonderful job of moving the puck and moving their feet to create those opportunities.
They have 50 seconds to create some more opportunities. Unfortunately, they're going to have to go 200 feet as the puck's cleared back down on their own end. 7:45 to go here in the second period. We're past the halfway mark of this hockey game. The goal scorers are as followed. For Grandville, Drew Harrington just 41 seconds into this hockey game, and then Owen DeVries at the 12:10 mark of the first period, as a good play made by Jared Switzer of the Rams to knock the pass away off the foot of Drew Harrington and back down in the Grandville zone. 25 seconds left in the man advantage as Harrington played it back to Harrington, but not the right Harrington. It should have probably been the other way around, as the Bulldogs a little bit of a cleaner breakout this time, as coming on through is Andrew Pullman. Cuts around one man down the right wing side with a shot. And he went for that far side stick side, but didn't miss by much. Pullman has it again. That's actually number 19. That's Sadinsky at the point. Across. Here's a chance and a shot, and a wild one that by Easton Pratt goes wide. Penalty expires. Both teams now 0 for 1 as coming in and out of the box was the Max Hoffman, trying to avenge maybe his penalty, try to get a turnover. But now here comes Perreault on the left wing side for Rockford. A knuckler of a shot, but that one goes wide. Rams trying to change, so having to pull off with Ben Rhodes. Smart play there to maybe avoid getting a too many men call. Rams, they'll have it in their own zone. Here's Hoffman up the near side wall for Rhodes, who will dump it on in with 6.5 to go here in period 2. Far corner, Easton Pratt plays it up, and once again, just like we talked about with that one too many men for Grandville, just throw up the boards and maybe one of the Rams will touch it. That time they got out of the way.
Yep, exactly, and you kind of touched on it, and so far Rockford's doing a good job of discipline, knowing, hey, just, don't worry about it, and have your other players on the ice take care of it.
Here comes Gable Enzik across the line for the Rams into the Grandville zone. He's thrown off on a good play by Drew Harrington, who fires it out and knuckles back on goal, and Nolan Smith had to play it. No icing. Played on now by J.D. Lamons. Over for Owen DeVries, the goal scorer for the Rams. Rockford looking to break out. Here's a pass ahead. Olensek passes right into the foot of Rhodes, but he's able to deflect it into the Grandville zone. Holden Pratt tries to pass up the far side, but it goes off Rhodes' stick and up into the netting just to the right of the Rams bench. Will have a face-off. I believe it'll come to the neutral zone with 5:50 to go here in period number 2. Not too many grade A scoring chances thus far in the second period. A couple of close ones, but not as many in the first period. Austin.
No, both teams have definitely done an overall good job of tightening things up. And, I mean, the players right now, they just, especially on the defensive side, they're just hustling. They're working hard to try and prevent any scoring opportunities for each of the teams. And as we kind of said, Lambert for Grandville kind of personifying that as he's been all over it tonight. But, I mean, both teams so far have just done a wonderful job defensively to limit those opportunities in the second.
And they want to keep doing that because obviously, and as we wind down, maybe the division crown has not been wrapped up yet despite the 5-0 start for the Byron Center Bulldogs. Turned over, and Owen DeVries could have had a breakaway, but it knuckled on him. He takes a shot that skips towards the slot. Now the backhander by Fouché. That's stopped in tight. Good right pad save and sliding across by Bryson Harrington.
Yep, you said it. Good job there for Harrington to just stick with the play and make those 2 saves.
You almost got to be careful trying to play the puck up the neutrals or up the middle like that as an icing call here up against the Bulldogs. And you don't want to give it to DeVries after the season we've talked about. He's coming into tonight's game second on the team in scoring. He now has 20 points on the season, right behind Carson Court, who has now 23 with the assist back in the first period.
Yep, definitely one of the players you want to avoid giving the turnover puck to, especially in the neutral zone where he's able to just gain speed and get an opportunity like that. Coaches kind of tell you don't throw it up the middle unless you have a clear 100% pass that you're going to be able to make.
Haggerty wins the faceoff forwards, tries the center, and a good pass blocked by Harrington to knock it back into his midsection. He holds on. That's a smart win, and Haggerty to realize it too because all the Bulldogs were defenders were on the hash marks and wins it forwards, able to get the puck and almost created a scoring chance.
It was, yeah. I mean, great, forecheck for them right off the faceoff, but great save by Harrington for him to read the play. I mean, great hockey IQ for him to know that they're crashing the net hard and to be able to make that save.
That time, Sadinsky came down low for the Bulldogs, so it didn't allow Haggerty a clean chance to go through. They do two-a-side battle in that far corner. Andrew McPhee pulls it out for the Rams, but right there is Josiah Lamberts, the defenseman for Grandville. Pinching in down low is Dylan Perot for Rockford. He tries to pull it off the half wall. However, it's spiked out to the neutral zone and down in the Rockford end by Drew Harrington. Back on it for Rockford. That is Presley Webb. He'll wrap behind his own goal in reverse flow. Takes a bump for his troubles, but he gets up to the left point. Held in, though, by the defenseman, the freshman Fields. Perot now will chip it out to the neutral zone off the skate of McPhee. McPhee gets put hard on the boards, but it's moved along by the Rams momentarily. Haggerty will just dump it on in. Rockford will go for a change with 4:15 to go here in period 2. Lamberts over skates it. Haggerty has it. Looking out in front. Finds a man. Oh, but a great play. Was that stopped by Fields? I don't think it got to Harrington. I think it may have been the freshman defenseman.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a great block by him there because, Harrington was way out of position on that play, and that was a great block shot.
Trammell Fields, who stumbled on the play that led to the Owen DeVries goal, making up for maybe his mistake back in that first period with a game saver, or at least a goal saver here in this second period. Josiah Lamberts down the far corner just to the right in front of the Rockford bench, gets upended and kind of pinned down for a second by Max Hoffman of the Rams. J.D. Lamons will dump it on into the near side. It'll wrap behind the Grandville goal. Coming on back is Lamberts. Tries to avoid a check, kind of stumbles a little bit. Grabbed on, trying to center it from the backhand. No one in front, though, there for Olenzik of the Rams. Now Olenzik does play it around, but it gets taken now with speed by the Bulldogs' leading scorer, Andrew Utero. Gets held up a little bit by Rhodes. Rhodes drops the stick to maybe try to avoid a penalty as the Bulldogs enter the Ram zone. 3:15 to go as the puck's cleared down. This will have enough for icing as Rams think would be able to change. With 3:11 to go here in period 2, we're knotted up at 1. Late here in the period, obviously neither team wants to give up a goal going into the third period, but you wonder if one team's going to try to push if one team really begins to drop back, Austin.
Yeah, most definitely. You said, and right now, if I had to guess, I think it would be Rockford right now who seems to be kind of pushing the pace as, their forecheckers are doing a great job of pressuring, the D for Grandford, getting the puck in and trying to create some good scoring opportunities.
Here's Holden Pratt looking for a scoring chance. That shot was deflected and comes over the near side corner. Gunnar Sadinsky trying to get it for the Bulldogs, but it's pulled out of the pile by Owen DeVries for the Rams. He'll cross the red line and backhand it softly into the far corner and go chasing after it. Holden Pratt and him do battle behind the goal, but it's taken by Jarrett Switzer. Kind of hold him up a little bit by Jeremy Rice, legally doing so by the ref, and a little bit of a pushing and shoving between DeVries and Pratt behind the play, but it's going back into the Rams zone with Drew Harrington on the forecheck. He does battle with Jacob Deerton and gets pulled out, thrown up to the left point. Rice holds it in with a shot. Easy stick save made by the netminder Smith. Rams look to break it out as a long pass up to the blue line. Finds Carson Court. He'll dump it out to the neutral zone with 2:25 to go here in the second period. Dumped on in by Braden Moe. He'll go chasing after it. Held up by Smith behind the net. Played over the near side wall. Court on second opportunity will find Braden Fouché to the neutral zone with speed. Trying to get around Lambert's. Peels right in front of his own bench and will just dump it on in. Will Haggerty on the forecheck for Rockford. Gets bumped by Rise. Trying to center does Haggerty. Goes off the net. Trying to turn and spin and shoot was Fouché, but he fans on it. Strike one. Fouché trying to spin away from Brendan Hunt. Brendan Hunt, one of the seniors, Grandville honor tonight with a good defensive play. Played on down the wall. Will Haggerty tried to pull it off the wall for the Rams. Unfortunately, kind of fumbled on it a little bit. Puck will come back out to the neutral zone with 1:45 to go in period number 2. Jeremy Rise on it. Plays it up to the blue line. Intercepted, but a little offsides. There was the defenseman Perot, or at least the Rams were offsides. Perot was, you could tell he was a little hesitant, but he decided to just play it. You know what, I'll just go for a line change.
Yep, exactly. Got a little excited there, and then once he realized, it's delayed offsides and he couldn't gain speed, he said, I'll just take the offsides.
And sometimes as a player, you don't want to just walk in intentionally because that'll actually force the face-off to go in your own zone. So I guess a good job there by Perot to, I guess, make it look accidental.
Yep, exactly. Sometimes put on a little performance, make it look like an accident.
Us goaltenders supposed to put on performance too, and sometimes if we start getting acrobatic and fancy, as there's a penalty upcoming as your Turo burned behind the goal, so it'll be a power play coming up here for the Rams. Your Turo trying to plead his case. But of us goaltenders, we try to get flamboyant, and people say we're trying too hard then.
I don't think you can try too hard, You got to give it 100% even if you are trying to put on a little bit of performance.
So Utero will go off. 2 minutes for boarding, says the official. Both teams 0 for 1 with the man advantage. Rams with their second opportunity here in this second period. Time of the penalty, the 15:36 mark. As the leading scorer for the Bulldogs will go sit for 2 minutes. Late chance here on the power play for Rockford. Owen DeVries on the draw for the Rams. He's able to tie up his man, and they win it, and they settle things down with Dylan Perot and Braden Fouché playing catch. Over at the left point, it's Court into the middle for chance for DeVries, and I think maybe Bryson Harrington got a piece of that one.
Yep, good save there by Harrington.
Quick shot in from the point, deflected wide by DeVries. Fouché on it in the far corner. Much better looking power play thus far for the Rams, but look out, it's taken away. Andrew Pullman, a shorthanded breakaway. He's in on Smith, but a great play from behind as Perot back-checked and lifted Pullman's stick, negating the scoring chance.
Yep.
Court back to the way of speed for the Rams. 4-on-2 rush. Court with a shot off the iron. Skips back out in front, and DeVries puts it wide. Another try by Fouché off the side of the goal. Helter-skelter here in the last minute, of this second period. Go ahead, Austin.
You're fine. Great scoring opportunities for both teams right now as, the turnover there by Perot, but he was able to get back on the back check and then immediately give it to DeRye for a good opportunity. Unfortunately, hit the post there.
Here comes Andrew McPhee across the line with 22 seconds left here in the second period. Looks out front, finds a man, DeVries, but he gets fanned on the shot. Great play by Jeremy Rise for the Bulldogs to get a stick in there and slow it up just enough for Bryson Harrington to smother it and hold on.
Yep, as you said, great play. That was just a good little quick and give and go there for Rockford to get a good opportunity. Unfortunately, he just kind of fanned on it right at the worst time. But again, great save by Harrington to, stick with it because sometimes those can kind of trick you. You're expecting a grade A scoring opportunity and then he kind of fumbles it and you got to be like, got to recover there.
You think we jinxed him when we said there hasn't been too many scoring chances in this period? We've had at least 4 in the last 45 seconds of this period. Still 55 seconds left in the penalty to Andrew Utero, which will carry over, barring the Rams scoring in the final 18.3 seconds of this period. They win the draw and have possession on the power play. Haggerty up to the point. However, his pass, though, went away from J.D. Lamons, and having to retreat back in his own zone is Dylan Perot for the Rockford Rams. Puck played on ahead, but it's knocked away by Hoffman, and going on the forecheck now will be Easton Pratt, the sophomore defenseman. They'll throw one towards the goal, and not a bad play, as that's how we will end period number 2. No score in the period, and as we said, for probably the first 10 minutes, not too many grade A chances, but that last couple of minutes, things got a little hectic on both ends, but we will head to the third period, tied up at 2. We'll take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we'll bring you the second intermission report here on The Kuehl Show, which you can find every Monday night on 12-ounce sports, 6 o'clock to 8:30, talking about the best and brightest of all things hockey from the NHL down to the high school level and even the junior level as well, like this interview with the longtime play-by-play broadcaster for the London Knights of the Ontario Hockey League, Mike Stubbs, talking about the 2016 Memorial Cup.
Maybe the most fun story about the 2016 team is there were 7 players, or 7 people, let's say, 5 players and a video coach and another member of the team personnel who thought for 7 seconds that the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies had won the Memorial Cup, because the place was jammed in Red Deer, and you had players. One of them was Evan Bouchard, who, when the NHL season gets going, could very easily be on the Edmonton Oilers. Alex Formanton was another one. He could play for the Ottawa Senators this year. We'll see. He had a great year last year in Belleville for the Baby Sens. And they were down in the Knights dressing room. And you had the Knights video coach, Rob Wilson, and you had Joey Poljanowski, and he's now with the Arizona Coyotes, and 5 players who were not dressed for that game. Alex Formanton had been brought on the trip just to kind of see, what life was like at the Memorial Cup. Just they knew he was going to be a great player. Here's how players at this level prepare. It was one of those trips for him. He didn't play in a game, practiced a little bit, and they were watching on the video feed. So picture this. The video feed, the TV feed, is 7 seconds behind. So there's a 7-second delay. So you can go back and watch the game-winning goal in the Memorial Cup. But Rouyn-Noranda dumps the puck down into the London Knights zone, really deep. And then all of a sudden, the guys underneath in the dressing room hear this big cheer.
Oh.
And they're thinking, we lost. Because, there's a 7-second delay, sure, on the TV, but there's no way you can get down the ice in 7 seconds, and we lost. And then they watch on the screen in complete disbelief, thinking this is over, just waiting for the puck to go into the into the Knight net and see Rouyn-Noranda celebrate. But Olli Juolevi tips a puck to Aiden Jamieson, and Jamieson turns and starts to come out of his zone. He gets almost to the blue line, and Matthew Tkachuk had been caught up ice on that play, and the bench had been yelling, "Hey, get back, get back, get back." And he was just charging to get back. And all of a sudden, the Knights had control of the puck, and it was, no, go, 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 go. And starts skating up the wing, and Jamieson puts the puck on his stick, and Tkachuk skates across the blue line, and he does this little move where he drags the puck into his body so that the goalie can't see where it's coming from. And then he just snapped it at the net, right as Christian Dvorak skated in front of Chase Marchand in the Rouyn-Noranda net, and that puck went in, and the Knights won. But for those 7 seconds, the guys underneath thought, we lost. And then their celebration might have felt a little bigger knowing that.
You can always catch more of interviews just like that on The Kuehl Show every Monday night, 6 to 8:30 p.m. on 12-Ounce Sports. Back here at Griff's Georgetown after 2 periods of play, Rockford and Grandville knotted up at 1. And let me tell you, despite both goals being in the first period, Austin, that second period ended, it seemed like we'd have 3 or 4 more.
Yep, it sure did. I mean, both goaltenders playing well. And, first part of the period, definitely was a little slow in terms of just the scoring opportunities. But then, all of a sudden, just felt like the last 5 minutes, all just back and forth, grade A scoring opportunity chance after grade A scoring opportunity chance for both teams. On this recent Rockford power play, as they'll still be able to have it, a little bit in the start of the second, but just a little mess up there by Perreault for, allowing a breakaway there for opponent of Grandville, and then, great back check by Perreault, and then immediately turning around, sending it to, that was Owen DeVry to get a, quick shot off, entering the zone on a 4-on-2, hit off the post, and then just again, just back and forth scoring opportunity chance, but, both goalies doing well, and a little bit of puck luck for both teams as, some great block shots for both teams and just not being able to find the back of the net.
What I used to say when I played Austin is if a puck hit the post, you know what I say? I put it at the perfect angle, and they had nowhere else to shoot it, right?
Exactly, yep. That's what we do as goaltender. If we play it perfectly and hits the post, hey, we're in the position, and we knew where we were. We knew it was going to hit the post or it was going to hit us.
And, of course, then if we look at our stats, though, don't look us up on EliteProspects.com because our numbers will say that they didn't hit the post much. Regardless, let's go back to the first period and tell how these goals went in. The only 2 goals in this contest. 41 seconds in, Drew Harrington, his second of the season for the Bulldogs, put them up 1-0. And at that point, Austin, it looked like the Bulldogs were really going to push the play and not really allow the Rams much time to breathe with all the pressure they had.
Yep, exactly. That first period, Grandville, with the emotion aspect of senior night, they came out flying. They pressured hard. They were to get that quick scoring opportunity, low glove side there on Rockford's goaltender, and then they started to dominate for most of the period, but then Rockford, once they kind of got their feet underneath them, they started making cleaner passes, able to, get quick breakouts, and then they were able to bounce back to tie the game there kind of a little bit late in the first period.
And yes, they did. And that was Owen DeVries after Carson Court kind of deflected it. Owen DeVries struck up the right wing side. Trammell Fields kind of stumbles on the play. That allows DeVries a clean shot at goal. He beats the netminder Harrington to the blocker side. His 7th goal of the season. However, it would have been 2-1 in the second period had Trammell Fields not made a big save, helping out his netminder Bryson Harrington after Harrington got a little out of sorts, and a great save by Trammell Fields. So the freshman defenseman, almost wearing the goat horns at the end of the first period, now looking like he's being praised by his netminder after his play in the second.
Yep, exactly. I mean, kind of a little turnover in front for Rockford, is able to get it in front of the net, and then all of a sudden, initial save there, but it was Harrington, but the puck kind of went to the left side of him, and he was completely out of position, not knowing where he was at. But as you said, the freshman defenseman came in to kind of block that shot at last second to keep it a 1-1 game.
Well, let's look at the upcoming schedule for both these teams coming up here. Very busy, obviously, with a shortened season, with COVID and everything. You heard of COVID, Austin? It's apparently a thing.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
it's a thing that's kind of just wrecked everything here in the state of Michigan and around the world as well. But Rockford upcoming here, they got some big games coming up here. Coming up on Friday, they play Grand Rapids Catholic Central at home at Griff's Ice House, 6 o'clock puck drop for that game. And then the next day, they go over to Plymouth to play Detroit Catholic Central at USA Hockey Arena. DCC, they're looking like another team that's trying to build up, getting ready for another great state tournament run. East Grand Rapids then on Tuesday, that is Tuesday, right? Yes, I can do math. Tuesday at Griff's Ice House, another home game against the Pioneers, the same Pioneers that we'll see on Friday here on the Kuehl Show as they take on Byron Center. 4 o'clock puck drop for that game. Then they end with Mona Shores the next on Wednesday, and then on Friday night, a clash over at Patterson Ice Center with the Forest Hill Central Rangers. For Grandville, they'll be playing the same Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Grand Rapids Catholic Central, though, on Friday will be playing a 12 o'clock game, so the Cougars have a doubleheader, and then the Bulldogs will play the second half of their doubleheader at 5 o'clock over in Holland at Griff's West against West Ottawa before they take on the Cougars next Wednesday, and then Byron Center to cap off the regular season. There are so many teams, Austin, that are playing back-to-backs, and I was talking actually with Byron Center head coach Tyler Kuehl earlier today. It's almost like youth hockey all over again.
Yep, exactly. Kind of like those weekend tournaments that you go to every few months, where it's you wake up, got a game on, Friday, early morning, maybe, at noon, and then at night you got to turn around and then, play another game.
And if I'm not mistaken, Byron Center on Saturday. So they play East Grand Rapids Friday night, which we will have here on the Kuehl Show. 6 o'clock puck drop from Southside, Byron Center, East Grand Rapids. The Bulldogs then the next day have to go play West Ottawa twice. Once at home at Southside and once over in Holland at Griff's West. But here's the kicker, though. Instead of how Catholic Central has to play at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and Grandville has to play at 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock, those two games are 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock. A little bit more of a reprieve.
Yep, you get a little bit of breathing room and, being able to kind of get a little bit more of a recovery. But again, obviously kind of the travel can sometimes wear on you. But overall, it's just nice to get a recovery in.
Go home and take a nap a little bit, maybe get a meal in you. I almost forgot what it was like to try to have like a in-between game meal. Because when I was a kid, it was always like orange slices or maybe a small sandwich. You stop at Subway or whatever. I don't know, like, when I never had to play back-to-backs. Well, we had to do it once at Davenport. But between high school and Davenport, we never really did it, and you kind of just went along with it because you never wanted to eat too much. Now, I will say this. When we did it at Davenport, I was not playing the second game, so I didn't care what I ate after the first game. But, you'll wonder, as a goaltender, if, say, for the hypothetical, for the Bulldogs, Bryson Harrington goes back-to-back. Obviously, Annie Beck may get one of those games. She's done pretty well so far in a couple games for the Bulldogs. But if you're a goaltender, how do you kind of rest up? We're not young kids anymore where we can just, play 5 games in a day and be fine. These are, 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
Yeah, nope. As you kind of said, it is difficult to recover. But, a lot of it does come down getting a good pregame, or a post-game / pregame meal, for the doubleheader. Just something, usually for me, I like something light just so it's something in my stomach to give me energy to actually play through a game. And also the mental aspect of it. You got to kind of have short-term memory from that first game. And, it does take a lot for a goaltender to focus for a game, play the game, and then afterwards kind of wind down, but then get refocused for another game.
Well, both teams are stepping back on the ice here for the third period. 1-1 the score for this one between the Rams and the Bulldogs. Both goals, like we said, scored in the first period. 37 seconds of carryover power play time for the Rams, as having to sit for another 37 seconds is Andrew Uturo, who went off for boarding late in that second period. I mean, the analytics always say, Austin, that a team with a power play at the beginning of a period never worked. But what do the Rams you think they need to do to try to get a goal here?
Do it very quickly. Win the face-off. Hopefully they can get a clean entry. If not, dump the puck in, get a quick forecheck, and then just try and work it to the point and then get a quick shot off with screens in front and hopefully either bury it from the shot or from the initial shot or get a rebound.
Hopefully they'll look to do that here. They'll be skating left to right in their roadblocks across your screen. Grandville and their home whites going back right to left as you hear the thundering sticks in the boards as we're underway here in period 3 between the Rams and the Bulldogs. Rockford looks to go in on the attack as the puck's played on in. Holden Pratt tries to clear it out for the Bulldogs. On a second attempt, Andrew Pullman will chip it out. Pullman, who looked like he had a great shorthanded chance in the beginning or the end of that second period, but he was thwarted off by Dylan Perreault of the Rams. And a couple of good defensive plays. Of course, talked about Josiah Lambert, who had some good defensive effort for the Bulldogs in that second period.
Yep, you said it. Both teams just really, none of them have given up on the plays this whole entire game. If they make a mistake, most players have just kind of gone back and immediately recovered to make some great hockey plays.
Holden Pratt clears it on down as the penalty expires. 0 for 2 now are the Rams with the man advantage. Bulldogs only had one power play in that second period. They were unsuccessful. Owen DeVries almost turns it over at the line, but is able to keep control of it. Now we'll push it through the neutral zone back into Bulldog territory. He'll throw it in down low on the forecheck is Andrew McPhee, but spun away on a good play made by Easton Pratt, the sophomore defenseman. Rolling out of the pile, though, momentarily is Owen DeVries. He tries to throw it around. He gets knocked down. Rams want a call. They're not going to get it. As kind of fell down together, and a little bit of extra pushing and shoving. Refs looking right at him as here comes Gavin Roseman back to the way for the Bulldogs. Dropped down back for Utero with a shot, and it rides off the stick of McPhee and up into the netting and out of play. So we'll have our first whistle of this third period, 1:16 into it.
Yeah, again, good pace for both teams. Obviously it's really early in the third period, but again, both teams just trying to stick to their initial game plan, get pucks deep, kind of set it up, good cycling down low, and just trying to establish that puck possession.
Face off to the left of Nolan Smith for Rockford. It's one on back by his teammate Will Haggerty. On it is the junior defenseman Jacob Dearton. Dearton tries to play up the wall, but he's cut off on a good back-checking play made by Brendan Bourne as the top line's out for Granville. Held in at the left point by Easton Pratt, but the Rams are able to work it out. Haggerty down the right wing side, gets thrown up a little bit, gets knocked down. Rams up in arms once again. Nonetheless, though, we continue on here as the puck's played in the neutral zone. Andrew Utero tips it ahead, but the Rams get it right back. Andrew McPhee gloves it down, tries to make a spin move, upends Utero, but it's taken on back as Lambert will try to dump it in. Fans on the dump in as puck kind of gets knocked around at the red line, but now Holden Pratt will push it into the Rams zone. Rockford, though, trying to get it back out, but Holden Pratt had it, lost it. Will Haggerty has it, trying to push it ahead for Ben Rhodes, but a good back check there, as I believe that was Drew Harrington that broke that one up. Bulldogs have it now, just past the 2-minute mark of this third period. Inside the line is Harrington, the goal scorer. Shot, easy save made by Smith. He'll play it in the near corner. Here's Holden Pratt, knocking it back down low. Harrington has it skip over his stick, so that allowed Dylan Perreault an opportunity to push over to the far side. Trying to get it out is Olenzek. Held at the point, a shot by Andrew Pullman went wide. Up to the left point with it is Gunnar Sadinsky. Long shot, held in just at the line. Rockford complained for a second, but quickly realized that would have been onside. Sadinsky now holds it in well in front of the blue line this time. Tries to thwart off a check, but it's taken back by Rockford's Max Hoffman. Up to the point. Here's another try by Sadinsky. Good blocker save through traffic by the netminder Smith. Up to the blue line, held in by Pullman. Here's Holden Pratt to the forehand with a shot and getting a stick in there. I believe that was the defenseman Jacob Dearton, so that negated the scoring chance, but it's almost taken away by Brendan Hunt. Is a real good pressuring forecheck here by the Bulldogs. Held the Rams in for a moment, but here comes Perreault out in front, trying to find a man. Skips to the front. And all of a sudden realizing it was on his stick was Perreault, but he didn't really have a good chance at goal, so he'll be taken back by Josiah Lambers of the Grandville Bulldogs. Across the line into the far corner. He'll wrap around on the backhand, looking over his options, back up to the point. With a chance here is Easton Pratt with a shot and a good pad save made by Nolan Smith. 3.5 minutes into this third period. We're still tied up at 1. It's a good hit thrown on the near side by Presley Webb. Bulldogs still pressuring, though, as in the corner with it is Veniklas. He lost the handle. It gets played up the wall by Carson Court out to center. As the top line's back out there for Rockford, Jared Switzer trying to get a handle on it. He'll play it on the backhand in the near side, back into the Bulldog zone. Up the near side, half wall intercepted. Carson Court throws it out in front, knocked down by Switzer, side of the goal, and it's covered up, but a penalty upcoming to Josiah Lambert for cross-checking as he knocked down DeVries at the side of the goal. And it'll be the third power play of the game here for Rockford. And the worst part about this, Austin, for the Bulldogs, one of their best penalty killers, Josiah Lambers, will be the one going off.
Yeah, just kind of an unfortunate penalty for Grandville, especially the fact that, for this first part of the period, they did a wonderful job of dominating play, keeping the puck in the zone. They're deactivated, and then Rockford, with a little bit of a scoring opportunity there, kind of led to, as you said, Lambert, one of their top PKers, to kind of take that penalty.
Faceoff will come to the left of Bryson Harrington in the Bulldog zone. Time of this penalty, the 3:53 mark. As now getting kicked out of the draw will be Brendan Bourne, and Bourne not too pleased with the call, is now getting kicked out of the draw will be Owen DeVries. So everyone's getting kicked out of the draw. Will the linesman drop the puck this time? Yes, he will, and it's controlled by the Rams. Played down the wall momentarily by Perot. He's able to hold it in despite a good effort by Holden Pratt trying to clear it out. At the side of the goal, Switzer will lead it off for Carson Court. He's in the far corner, looks out in front, tries to get it for DeVries. It gets deflected back up to the point. Now over to the near side, Braden Fouché plays it up top. It's Perot overlooking his options. He'll move it back over for Fouché. They play catch. Perot over to the far side. Court back down in the middle for DeVries. A one-timer and a good right pad save in tight. And it's played back on goal, and smothering it before any other calamity happens around him is the netminder Harrington. That's a big save, Strauss.
It sure was. Harrington with a great little leg save there. But, great puck move by Rockford. Working the point, working their top three guys, and then a quick little one-touch pass right in front of the slot. I think that was DeVries who got the shot off, and just a quick little one-timer, but Harrington was there to make that save.
DeVries, and he plays that bumper position too. That's something we've seen a lot more in recent years with the umbrella. Have a guy in that high slot. Almost gave Rockford a great opportunity at goal, but the Grandville netminder said no on that opportunity. Still a minute 23 left in the power play. Here's wrapping around, trying to. Court steps up, takes a shot, and a good save made in tight. Sealing that near side post was Harrington. DeVries in the far corner, gets away from a check, plays it back up to the point. Court over for Perot, now down to his right. It's Fouché looking in front, trying to find DeVries, but it's clear to the line, not out. Good hold by Perot. For Court again. Looking in front, trying to find a tip, but he throws it off the side of the net. Coming on down low and trying to clear it here is Harrington. He gets pinned to the boards, but it's finally grabbed by Pullman and slapped out and down the ice. 50 seconds left in the power play for the Rams. They're third of the game. They're 0 for 2. 11:54 in regulation. We're still tied at 1 between the Bulldogs and the Rams here from Griff's Georgetown. Across the line over the left wing side is Perot. He'll wrap all the way around. Throws it out in front. Hoffman had a great opportunity, but it slides off his stick. Andrew McPhee plays it back down low. Jeremy Rice going down there for the Bulldogs. He gets pinned to the boards by said Hoffman. McPhee comes down from his point position for Rockford to gain possession back. He'll play it back down low. Holden Pratt trying to go down there, trying to pin it to the boards, but it gets worked off his stick. He clears to the line, not out. Good hold by Lamond. He'll play it down back behind the Bulldog goal with 14 seconds left in the power play. Finally cleared out to center. Not much further than the red line, though, as the Rams look to quickly bring it back in. Haggerty across the line, throws it towards the middle, but knocked back out to the neutral zone. It's played on in, back in by Dearton, but that'll allow the Bulldogs some reprieve as Rams had a touch up as the penalty expires. 0 for 3 with the man advantage. No icing called by the official. Rockford said they should have been icing, but nonetheless we play on. Maybe that time, maybe coming out of the net a little too far was the netminder Smith, maybe, Austin.
Yep, he kind of challenged it just a little bit too much, and it almost cost him there, but...
Did he raise his hand? If he raised his hand, maybe he gets away with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Nonetheless, the Rams are able to reverse the ice, and here comes Haggerty on the right wing side. Shot, easy save made by Harrington. Played at the side of the goal, back out in front, but it's grabbed by the Bulldogs' Pullman. He'll look for his options. He'll softly play off the boards, and this one will not go for icing as it was played by Smith. That would have been icing, though, as it's not a delayed icing, not hybrid icing here at the high school level. However, the puck is cleared on down, maybe a 2-on-1. Coming on over here, this is the defenseman Holden Pratt. Owen DeVries on the forecheck for Rockford. 10:17 to go in the third period. It's pulled out by Carson Court. He looks over to the left point, doesn't see a good passing lane, so he'll move it down for his line mate DeVries. He'll circle up to the high slot with a shot. Good blocker save made with traffic around him by Bryson Harrington. Thrown back in the slot and wide. Here comes a chance now for Perot.
Good save there by Harrington to stay with Derive as he was kind of walking across the point to make that great blocker save.
Here comes Roseman back the other way. Oh, but a great play by Carson Court. Diving, not allowing Roseman to drive the side of the goal. Court show he can do it on both ends of the rink, the leading scorer, and making a great defensive play there.
Exactly. You love to see, and the coaches love to see, their forwards, especially their top guys, just getting back defensively, making some wonderful defensive plays.
Here's Brendan Bourne at the point. Oh, he gives it away to Carson Court. Look out. Court's now coming on the left wing side. Good back check, though, by Rice, but it's a cross for Switzer. He's in and he scores! Jared Switzer buries it, and the Rams jump out in front here in the third period.
Yep, that play developed kind of there as Grandville turned the puck over at the point, and it kind of looked like Carson Court there was a little bit slow, kind of driving to the net, so he kind of waited just a little bit, and that was a wonderful job for Switzer to kind of jump into play, get the puck in the high slot, and bury it blocker side.
Good play by Court to force the turnover, and this could have been a whole different scenario has Court not making that play on that chance by Rozema. So Court 2 defensive plays and ends up setting up the goal. Time of that goal, the 7:31 mark, second assist of the game for Mr. Court. The goal for Switzer, his 6th goal of the season, currently 5th on the team in scoring. So now the Bulldogs for the first time tonight playing a little catch-up now. 9:15 to go, and they'll have to go chase it back in their own end. Here's Max Hoffman on the forecheck. However, icing is the call. As C.J. Pober on the Rockford bench standing up and asking for an explanation with the icing call, as the Rams apparently are asking about a couple of missed icing calls on the Grandville end. But then again, the coaches, like the players, never seem to look eye to eye with the refs.
Nope. The only time they agree with the refs if it benefits them.
Exactly. Face-off won, though, by the Rams. They'll clear it to the line and out, so the icing doesn't come back to haunt them. It is dumped back in, though, by Easton Pratt, and the Rams will go back in their own zone. J.D. Lamons up the near side, trying to move it along. It gets thrown towards the slot by Evan Willman. Nobody there for the Bulldogs. It is cleared down, and it'll go right on goal, so no icing, as Harrington had to play it. Josiah Lambert's out from behind his own net. Over for Drew Harrington. However, it gets picked off by Will Haggerty. Haggerty on the backhand driving the side of the goal. Harrington, though, trying to force him down low, trying to make up for his mistake. It gets played back to the point. Lamons with a shot. That gets knocked down and spitters towards the slot, but it's cleared out and down the ice. This one will go for icing as Easton Pratt cleared at 200 feet. So we'll come back down to the Bulldog zone as we reach the halfway mark of this third period. Rams up now by a score of 2-1.
Yep, Rockford really starting to pick up the pace here, and they're the ones now kind of start dominating, get the pucks in deep, doing a wonderful job of cycling, as well as kind of what a lot of good teams do is, really get your defensive engagement, get the puck to the point, let them make plays, whether it's a shot or give it back down low, just doing a wonderful job, kind of just getting their D involved, and the D doing a wonderful job of pinching when they need to, and, recovering defensively if they do make a mistake.
Face off to the left of the netminder Harrington, one on by the Bulldogs. Here pushing it on ahead is Gunnar Sadinsky. He'll dump it on in and go chase after it in the near side corner. Looking in front, able to avoid a check by Dylan Perot. Still has it. Gets knocked off the stick, though, by Jacob Deerton as the Rams will look to bring it on out. Long pass. It was tipped by Braden Fouché on the wrong side of the red line, though, so this will go for icing. Force the Rams to have a defensive face-off with 8:12 to go in the third period. Over the past 3 seasons, the Rams have actually had a winning record against the Bulldogs. The Rams won both meetings back in the 2018-2019 season. However, last year, after tying the first meeting, the Bulldogs actually won the second meeting back on December the 21st of 2019. So the Bulldogs are trying to replicate what happened last season after tying the first meeting between these two earlier in February after the teams tied 4-4 earlier on. The Bulldogs looking to try to get a win here and try to maybe jump the Rams in the division. 8 minutes left here in this third period. The Rams lead 2-1 after the goal here in this third period by Jared Switzer. Braden Fouché on it for the Rams. The captain for the Rams will play it to center, taken on back by Holden Pratt of the Bulldogs. Dumped on in off the netting, though, by Rozema. So we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone as we are closing in on the 10-minute mark of this third period. Once again, folks, we will be live with high school hockey action here on the Kuehl Show this Friday night as East Grand Rapids travels down to Byron Center to take on the Byron Center Bulldogs. 6 o'clock puck drop for that game, 5:45 pregame right here on the Kuehl Show. Face-off won by the Rams. They'll push on in. The goal scorer Switzer throws it out in front for DeVries, and a good save sliding across by Bryson Harrington as the Rams looking to add some insurance here in this third period. They're still on it. DeVries for Court in front. Court's in. Oh, what a save by Harrington as he flashed out the right pad on the stick to rob the leading scorer for Rockford. Back the way comes Roseman. He gets caught off on a good play by J.D. Lamons.
Harrington doing a wonderful job of keeping his team in this game. His 2 grade A scoring opportunities, able to stop them both.
Here comes 3 with Courtney scores! Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Carson Court roofs it, and a 3-point game for Mr. Court makes it 3-1 Rams.
Yep. Play started kind of back in Rockford zone as their D were able to get a quick breakout pass, and Court able to use his outside speed there to just kind of come in, walk in past the defender, and kind of rip that top shelf.
Beautiful shot. You can see why now that is his 14th goal of the season. One of the top scorers in this Rue division. And you can see with plays like that, and he was robbed earlier, he was going to not make a mistake that time. So now the Rams have the biggest lead of the hockey game, a 2-goal margin with 7:08 to go here in this third period. Bulldogs looking to pressure here. They had a real good start to this hockey game and have had really good stretches throughout, but they're going to have to try to find a way to climb back in this game. As here's a shot block. Look out, Ben Rhodes. He had a chance in the second period denied. Here he comes in on goal. And another great play by Josiah Lambers, but the arm goes up, a slashing call. Lambers, who actually negated the chance by Rhodes back in that second period. No penalty shots, but maybe that's what I thought was on a breakaway, but it'll be another power play, though, for Rockford. And Austin, I don't know. It's a good back check by Lambers. It is a slash, but, I mean, what do you think on that call?
Yeah, it's a tough one to make. I mean, if you're Lambert, you always want to protect your goaltender and everything like that. You want to try and, make the defensive play, but in my opinion, that kind of came in just a little bit too late for him to make that penalty, but I mean, for Rockford right now, though, they really are starting to get some momentum here and creating a lot of grade A scoring opportunities.
Well, they'll look to do it here. Lambers off for the second time in this game. 0 for 3, though, are the man advantage here for the Rams. They have the top unit out there. Court fans on it. As now Holden Pratt will bring it on ahead for the Bulldogs, maybe looking for a shorthanded chance. Neither team has scored a shorthanded goal yet this season, but the Bulldogs would probably love one here if they want to get back in this hockey game. However, this time trying to clear it out, but unable to do so is Brendan Bourne as Carson Court tied him up. Puck gets swept on over the near side. Braden Fouché on it. We'll play it back down low. That's Owen DeVries. He scored back in the first period. Played on across now. Here's a chance for Court. Back in the middle for DeVries. Tipped on back for Dylan Perreault. All three members of the top line for the Rams have scored tonight as Court, Switzer, and DeVries have all scored. Here's a chance now for DeVries in front. Shot going the near side, blocker side. That missed. Found the backboards. Good little bump thrown by Holden Pratt and clearing out down the ice for the Bulldogs. 57. Ooh, wow. Oh, kind of trying to stop it. It was Nolan Smith, and thankfully for him, he was off to the side of the goal because it squeaked through, and thankfully for him, like I said, it wasn't in the 4x6.
Yep, good thing that. I mean, it's always scary for a goaltender when you kind of lose the puck there, but and like you said, lucky for him, it went to the outside.
Somewhere Steve Mason is probably taking a sigh of relief after that goal back in the 2016 playoffs. Play continues on here with 33 seconds left in the fourth power play of the game for the Rams. Max Hoffman on in the far half wall. Spins it back up to the side. That's McPhee. McPhee to the middle. Haggerty trying to get to the backhand. Centers in front. A shot that gets blocked off the foot of Easton Pratt, and it's cleared out and down the ice.
Good job by Grandville in there to kind of clog up those passing lanes, able to get the puck and fire it out. And Grandville kind of, so far this game, especially on the power play, has definitely struggled getting the puck out of the zone and setting it 200 feet against Rockford.
They're going to try to do it here again, but a giveaway here by Pratt on the stick of McPhee. He couldn't get the shot away, thankfully, for the Bulldogs. 2 seconds and 1. 0 for 4 of the Rams. The man advantage with a shot, though, from the point was Dearton, and that's sticked away by the netminder Harrington. Rosema trying to clear it out, but a good back check by Haggerty to take it away. The Bulldogs slap it out and down the ice, and this will go for icing. As the Bulldogs say, someone could have played it, but unfortunately, unless they actually touch the puck, as I have reluctantly learned to accept, because even if a defenseman's there, if it gets slapped by him. Now, if it's men's league rules, though, Austin, if I ever saw a guy within 10 feet of that puck, I would wave off the icing every time. Keep it going, boys. Obviously, competitive hockey's a little bit different.
Yep, that's very true. Men's league, most refs, they just want to get it over and done with, but competitive hockey, you got to stick with the rules.
We're there for the paycheck for on those Tuesday night leagues as puck is slapped back around in the Grandville zone. 4.5 to go here in the third period. Rams up by a score of 3-1. 2 goals in this period, one by Switzer at the 7:31 mark, and Carson Court just a couple minutes ago, his 14th of the season. Here's now DeVries in the middle for Rhodes. Rhodes with a chance. Good save made at the top of his crease. Bryson Harrington trying to keep his team in this one as Gavin Rosema's ridden off into the boards right to the next of his bench, and that gets a round of applause from the Rockford side of things. Dylan Perreault plays it up to the blue line, trying to chip it out as Benjamin Rhodes, and he does. The last man back is Rise, and he'll just dump it on in. The safe play. It's played up the wall. Look out. Here's Haggerty on the right wing side. Not necessarily a good angle, but he'll grab it. Icing?
Yeah, that was very interesting, especially feels like a late call there, too. Wow.
How close? The linesman's looking at Andrew McPhee, who's asking player, and he's saying about this much like it's inches in football, but yeah. I wish we had a replay on that one. I'm like, here's Haggerty with a chance on the power, maybe a rush. And that's the one thing why That's one thing you got to remember. In high school hockey, it's like the old international icing rules. If it's across the line, it's an icing call.
Yep.
No, as the net gets knocked off, is when the player's knocked off the net for Nolan Smith. So we'll reset in the Rockford zone, but 3:44 to go. Yes, it's not like college or not like the NHL. It's not or even junior hockey where you have to beat it out. It's if it crosses the goal line, it is icing, which I'm sure some would like it that way, but maybe it's the hybrid icing. But you know what? If it keeps the players safe, I guess obviously you got to do what's best for the players.
Exactly. I mean, you touched up on it. It really is for the safety of the players. Obviously, people kind of like the hybrid icing, but you really do always want to protect the kids, playing, and it's what the icing does. The no-touch icing.
J.D. Lamons plays it in deep into the Grandville zone with 3.5 to go in the third period. Rams up by 2 here on the road, trying to hold on to that number 2 spot in the Rue Division, trying to chase down the Byron Center Bulldogs, who are 5-0 in division play this year. Puck's played to the front by Josiah Lambers, but it gets knocked away, and back to become the Rams. Haggerty at the end of a long shift will just cross the red line and dump it into the far corner. On the forecheck is Andrew McPhee. He's going to do battle. He gets played back out, though, as Lambers kind of playing forward right now on the forecheck. Moves on ahead for Pullman. Pullman tries to pull cue it by his man Dearton, but unfortunately couldn't get a clean look at it as it's taken back by Rockford. Up the near side, Jared Switzer tries to get around Holden Pratt, but he's unable to do so. Owen DeVries will just dump it on in for the Rams. With 2:45 to go here in regulation time. Andrew Toro on ahead for Rosema. Knocked off his stick on a good little poke check by Josh Byrne. Moving on along here as here comes DeVries across the Grandville line. To his left, he wants to shoot. He does, but it finds the side of the goal. Switzer trying to slap it out in front, but that gets deflected as he was ran hard to the boards by Jeremy Rise. Turnover at the side of the goal and almost a chance there for Carson Court, but it was spiked away, and now he has it on it again. Actually runs into his teammate. There was Owen DeVries. And now Holden Pratt will slow things down behind his own net with 2:10 to go now in the third period. Puck skips over everybody's stick, and this will go for icing despite Rosema ahead of the play. This one a little more apparent, so we'll come back with uncontested discussion from either team down in the Grandville zone with 2:08 to go here in regulation.
Grandville right now, really, they're down 3-1. They're really struggling trying to get puck possession, especially in the neutral zone. It kind of looks like they're fumbling the puck, and Rockford's D doing a good time of timing, jumping up in the play, timing it just perfectly, kind of disrupt those plays, preventing Grandville from really getting any sort of momentum or just any sort of puck possession in the zone.
And they're going to obviously want to find some momentum here. Joel Brazil taking a timeout for the Bulldogs. And, if he's in the pile right now, what's he saying to his team to try to find a way? They trailed too late yesterday to Byron Center. They were able to get back within 1. Couldn't find the equalizer, though. What's he saying right now to his team?
Well, right now I think part of it is kind of wants to calm him down just a little bit, have him kind of refocus up. And I think also he may kind of want to try and tell the players to fly the zone, have the weak side winger start flying because, both teams really do like to implement that. We kind of saw that early in the game. Kind of fly the zone early, do some of those stretch passes off the breakouts to kind of create those scoring opportunities. So I think that's kind of what he's going to tell his players, start getting those stretch passes, making them, get the puck in deep, set it up, and then try and generate scoring opportunities and puck possession.
Because here's the thing, if anything, if one guy flies the zone, it's going to at least pull one defenseman back, so it allows a little bit more room in their own zone to break it out.
Exactly, yes. It kind of creates a little bit of breathing room. And, if, Rockford D's not going to do that, if they're not going to bring their guy out, then basically you have a free breakaway if you're able to make that pass. But it always does, having those stretch passes and be able to do it consistently and frequently really opens up the ice more for you to gain speed, get puck possession, as we kind of said, through the neutral zone to be able to just, again, as we said, have that puck possession and just create some sense of scoring opportunities.
I would like to think C.J. Pober's telling his defenseman to get back if a guy flies zone, but, I've been wrong before, and there have been some instances where a team is a little aggressive. Obviously, a 2-goal lead, though, it is a dangerous lead in hockey because if the Bulldogs can get a quick one here, can definitely maybe plant a little seed out in the Rams, so maybe they'll do everything they can to keep the puck 200 feet from their own goal.
Exactly, yep. You'd think Rockford definitely wants to, still be a little aggressive, but play smart. Make the smart play, just get the puck in deep, and just prevent Grandville from getting any sort of momentum.
Face-off to the left of Bryson Harrington in the Grandville zone. 2:06 to go after the face-off's won by the Bulldogs here in the third period. Held in, though, by Dylan Perreault. He'll throw it around. It goes over to the far side. Holden Pratt gives it away, and it's trying to be centered by, I believe, that was Olenzek, but he gave it away as the Bulldogs get it back. Pass up the far boards. Kept on in by Ben Rhodes. Look out. Here's a chance for Olenzek. Tries to get the shot up, but takes a tumble down in the face-off circle, and the Bulldogs, well, they got it back, but it's played on over to the far side, but it's taken on back by Max Hoffman. Puck goes off the dasher board, though, and up into the netting. So maybe, thankfully for Grandville, the puck will at least get out of their own zone with the upcoming faceoff, because the Rams seem like they just got the Bulldogs chasing.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of on that most recent play there, it kind of looked like the Grandville's, Dean Winger had a miscommunication there of who they kind of wanted to get the puck. Because, Rockford wasn't really pressuring initially, and just kind of looked like a little miscommunication there between the two Grandville players.
Face-off just in front of the Grandville bench. 98 seconds left in regulation. Down 2 are the Bulldogs. Bryson Harrington looking at Coach Joel Brazil, asking when he's ready to come. However, his team needs to get possession deep, and a puck is fired into the Rockford bench by Jacob Deerton. So Harrington now will go off as the face-off will come into the Rockford zone with only 88 seconds left here in the third period. Definitely need a quick one here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. I don't have the official score sheet from last night's game, or yesterday's game between the Bulldogs and the Bulldogs, Byron Center and Grandville. But I believe they scored in like the last 20 seconds. Obviously, a quick one here would be a lot more beneficial.
Yep.
Face-off won, though, by the Rams. They'll chip it out. Held in. It goes off the head of Brendan Bourne. Second opportunity held in. Good job by the Bulldogs to keep it in. Here's Andrew Turo. Plays it down the wall, but Jared Switzer fires it out and down the ice. This one will go for icing. As stopping was the defenseman Holden Pratt, which actually negates the icing. Puck's played out down the ice, so this will be an icing against the Bulldogs, as Holden Pratt was looking for the curling brooms to sweep that puck over the goal line, but however, he went a little too slow as the linesman determined, and that is the rule. If the defenseman tries to, I guess, I don't say force the icing, but I don't want to use, he kind of slows up or takes a weird route, the linesman can wave it off.
Yep, he can, and definitely the linesman definitely did that, and it obviously cost Grandville as they ended up taking the icing.
1:03 to go, face-off one, and a shot from the point by Perot right into the midsection of Harrington, and he'll hold on. 1 minute exactly left in this third period. Rams lead by a score of 3-1. 2 goals in this third period. Jared Switzer, 6th of the season. Carson Courts, 14th of the season. On the draw, scramble, pulled out by the Bulldogs. Rosema on a cross. It's Lamberts pushing on ahead. Across the red line, he'll dump it on in. Harrington goes off for the extra attacker with 50 seconds left. Lamberts runs his man down. It's behind the goal, but it's pulled out by Dylan Perot. He chips it up the far wall ahead for Carson Court. 2-0, a Switzer with the empty net. Court will just coast it on in. A 4-point game for Carson Court with the empty net goal, and the Rams will take this one. Now up 4-1 with the empty netter. Austin Strauss, what a game by the leading scorer. 2 goals, 2 assists for Carson Court, and you can see why he's one of the best scorers here in the OK Conference.
Exactly, yeah, and for Rockford, it's wonderful to have one of the top points scorers in the, in this conference. Especially, you always want your big guys to step up, and obviously Court, 2 goals, 2 assists. That's a big night being involved in every single play for Rockford.
Time of this goal, 16-23, back-to-back goals for Court. Now 15 on the season. His 4 points now gives him 26 in the team's now 11th game on the year. 30 seconds left here in regulation. Puck's played by Jeremy Rice, almost given away. Pushed on in and offsides. There was a touch coming across the line by Braden Fouché. The Rams, like we said, coming up some big games here. Grand Rapids Catholic Central, not as strong as the Cougars have been in the past. They get, though, the Detroit Catholic Central the following day. East Grand Rapids and then Forest Hill Central to end the regular season. Mona Shores, a team in that bomb division, that's one of the tough teams as well. And, the Rams, they don't have an easy schedule, but if they keep it up, this is a team that got knocked out in the quarterfinals last year. This is a team that's really gearing up for maybe another deep run in the tournament.
Yep, exactly. And when you do lose early in the playoffs last year, especially with guys, return, it kind of hurts a bit, and you want to gain more momentum, and you kind of want to bounce back and make a deep playoff run, and that's what Rockford's trying to do here towards the end of the season. They
get the win here as you hear the final buzzer. 4-1 the final score for the Rams. They pick up the win and get the season series win as they tied, like we said, Iraq last month. They get the win here this evening. They improve now to 7-4-1 on the season, 5-3-1 in conference play. And still trying to chase down those Byron Center Bulldogs, who are currently 5-0 in conference play. It'll be a tough road, but it's not impossible. Bulldogs now 5-4-1 overall with a 3-2-1 conference record. They'll be looking to bounce back as they take on Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Also on Friday and then they play West Ottawa. So they have a chance to try to get back on the right track, taking on West Ottawa as well, a team that had some rough goes so far this season, so we'll definitely keep tabs on that. We'll be live with some more high school hockey on Friday. East Grand Rapids at Byron Center down at Southside Ice Arena. 6 o'clock puck drop for that game. 5:45 pregame show here on the Kuehl Show. Austin Strauss will be playing hockey, though. He's not going to be doing this broadcasting. He'll be over in Canton, Michigan as the D3 Panthers, Davenport Panthers, taking on Michigan. I'll be there Saturday, though, for when you guys play at home, so I'll be able to see you then.
All right, perfect. We love having you, Tyler.
Oh, you're a liar. Now, your mom, on the other hand, no. Your mom loves hearing my voice, apparently, but I know she's just being nice to me. Austin, tough loss here, though, for the Bulldogs. Looking at this one here, they had a great start to this game, scoring 41 seconds in, but unfortunately, they just couldn't sustain.
Nope. I mean, like you said, they kind of came out flying and really started to dominate play, but Rockford just kind of slowly but surely made them way back into the game, able to get some grade A scoring opportunities. A lot of them off turnovers. I mean, especially at the blue line, Grandville just not being able to keep the puck in. Grandville able to capitalize on the rush, setting up in the zone, and also drawing penalties. I mean, they didn't really score, I don't believe, in any of their power plays, but
nope. Grandville only had one power play in this one, unfortunately. Yeah. Rams, they went 0 for 4, but yeah, to your point, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you weren't able to score on the power play, but for Rockford, even if you don't score on the power play, you're able to gain momentum, sustain pressure, and that's exactly what Rockford did to able to get the win.
Well, obviously the Rams, they're looking hot going into the tournament, but the Bulldogs, they still have some time to pick up some steam. 4 games left here in the regular season with that big matchup to end the regular season against Byron Center, that on March the 12th at Southside Ice Arena. But that is it for this one here tonight from Griff's Georgetown. The Rockford Rams come on the road to pick up a 4-1 win over the Bulldogs. For Mason Rosema, who did the camera tonight for us, thank you very much to him, the brother of Gavin Rosema. For Austin Strauss, I'm Tyler Kuehl saying so long, and thank you for watching this edition of High School Hockey on the Kuehl Show. Good night, everybody.